Hey everybody, welcome here to Rockin Robbie Live here at Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Billups, and tonight it's a Teen Dog Shades night, hashtag Teen Dog Shades night. So we're going to be jamming and jiving tonight, talking about lots of fun subjects. We got a fun show planned out for tonight. Usually we look at this week's upcoming new comic books and we talk about our favorite comic books of last week, but there haven't really been comic books, but we will talk about the state of the industry and where we think it's going and what's going on and all that jazz. I'll be taking your questions, obviously. That is what fuels the show. So feel free, once you get in here, as many of you already have, to let us know that you're here and say what's up to everybody. Status check, make sure everybody's still alive and good and taking care of themselves. Things are getting crazy out there. And yes, as you know, and I already said, it's a Teen Dog Shades night. So we're going to have fun tonight. We'll be talking about animated series theme songs later on in the show. We'll be doing a little bit of show and tell. I'll be talking a little bit about Grant Morrison's influence on my life with the book The Invisibles. So we got an exciting show tonight. I'm very excited to be here. Hats off, cheers up. All right. What's up, Sam Fett? What's up, John? What's up, Perry? You are early. That's crazy. What's up, Easy Reader? What's up, Ronnie and Robert? Unstoppable Cockblocker. Samuel, Ronnie. I already shouted you out, Ronnie. You got two of them. What's up, Jesse? What's up, Atari? What's up, Fable 1980. What's up, Zen? Robert, you're more than welcome to if you want to. It might benefit a Teen Dog Shades type night. No, I had to get y'all primed for tonight, Anyway. Yeah, I am Borg, right? I was just wondering, I just thought it'd be funny. I was like, what's going to happen when all of a sudden in the stream that pops up? Maybe I was programming you. Just kidding. Have I been reading the IDW TMNT? I just got to issue 100, and it's been great for the most part. Zen, I have not been reading. I have read like the first 20 issues or so back when it first released, like 2012 or something like that. Then I fell out of it, and now with the encouragement of Chad from 90MF Comics, because YouTube is 90, I have like the first 11 trades ready to go. I'm going to read them. But then I got on the Spawn kick, so the Spawn's kind of taken over that. But I do plan on reading them. And now, as was mentioned in the weekly pop culture wrap-up this morning, the IDW has ordered Sophie Campbell to put pencils down, basically, on that one after issue 105. It's going on a hiatus. That's probably because, at this point, we don't know when comic books are coming back in print, right? We don't know that. We don't know when they're coming back even in digital. We don't know anything right now. Like, it's just every day is different, right? So IDW has told a few of their creators to stop working on what you're doing because I guess they're planning for maybe a couple months of an interruption. Maybe a few months of an interruption. So that seems to be what's going on there. Marvel's doing it with about 15 to 20% of its line. Those are probably going to be like Empire tie-ins and launches that are tied into the Black Widow movie, Taskmaster and Black Widow specifically. Halt work on those because if comic books resume in May or June, they got to catch up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, David Hatch? What's up, Mikey? What's up, Eddie? David Hatch, Comic Book Therapy. What's up, Herminio? Yeah, happy WrestleMania Day. I know it's WrestleMania tonight, so I'm very thankful for you being here on the stream, chatting with us, and not watching WrestleMania or just waiting, or watching it at the same time. Who knows, right? Maybe I should have watched it. We could have all chatted about it. That would have been an interesting Teen Dog Shades night. Perry says IDW's been having money problems. I don't know if they'll bounce back from this. Yeah, Rich over at Bleeding Cool is pretty certain that some publishers are not going to make it through this. and that may be the case. Which ones those could be? I've heard the rumors of IDW's money problems too, and one of the reasons why they've lost licenses and things like that. So, I don't know. I really hate it. IDW has yet to really find a true definitive voice in the market, in my opinion. They used to be the licensed guys, right? You know, it's like Dark Horse used to be the licensed, like licenses meaning like taking properties. Like Dark Horse had the Star Wars property, and they had the Dark Horse. You know, Dark Horse had the Aliens franchise and Predator, and all kinds of other stuff like that. They had Buffy. So Dark Horse in the '90s was the company that kind of was known as the licensed property company. IDW became that when they really were hitting some peak success with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, My Little Pony, what else? G.I. Joe, all that kind of stuff, right? Transformers. Now those books have seemed to kind of dull down a little bit. Like Turtles had a lot of hype a couple months ago, and the word on that book is still strong, but the other ones, they're kind of dipping down. Now IDW also does really great, out of nowhere, great independent comics as well. Stuff like Kanto, stuff like Mountainhead, stuff like Road of Bones. Those are fantastic creator-owned books. But yeah, they've lost some licenses. It seems like they've been struggling to find that identity. It feels almost like they've been usurped by Boom. Boom kind of does that now. They have some strong licensed comic books with Power Rangers and Buffy and Angel. And then they've got a really wide and diverse line of really great independent comic books for all ages. So Boom's kind of on the rise, and IDW's been kind of a little bit on the slump. But I don't know. Obviously, Marvel and DC and Image, they're going to make it through this, I'm pretty certain. Some of the others you might start worrying about. I think Boom's strong. I think Boom will be fine. I think Dark Horse will be fine. But it's some of the smaller ones you got to really worry about. As far as I'm aware, Vault's going to be cool doing what they do. But, you know, you got Scout, you got Source Point, you got Mad Cave. Now, Mad Cave's been, I know, Chad, what's up? YouTube is 90. Yeah, I said it earlier. I must have summoned you. I evoked Chad to show up. But I know Mad Cave kind of does their own thing. Scout's been trying to do their own thing. TKO's doing their own thing. Vault kind of can do their own thing. I think Boom's strong. IDW might be one to worry about. Action Lab, they're continuing on with digital, maybe because it is essential for them to continue to have whatever revenue that they can. So, I don't know. That's all just speculation. I want to be very positive about this and basically think that all of my publishers that I follow and love will make it through this strong and fine. But this whole industry is, a lot of industries are hit right now by this, but man, this is really upending the comic book industry. It has stopped it. Straight up stopped it. So it's crazy. But I don't know. IDW seems like, I don't know. I hope IDW will be fun. Because they really pump up they crank out some really good work at times. Really, really good, solid stuff. What day do you think comics will be back? There's no way I could really know that for sure. But the first thing I would say is probably June. I have a bad habit of adjusting my mic. I've been wanting to get like a really nice mic that when I move and adjust it, because I feel like maybe that's part of my style. And I want to get a nice, I've been looking at mics, you know, and I was like, man, what does Joe Rogan use? And I looked it up and I'm like, you know what? I think we can do it. First, we got to get that Joker van. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? And we're about to get to the first 6 because I always forget that shit. We're about to get to the first 6. First 6 comic books from my PC, my personal collection that I'm showing off. But, so one of the streams, I don't know what it was. Was it Wednesday night? Maybe Thursday? I don't remember. One of the streams I mentioned that I wanted to get the Joker and the Punisher vans, the Toy Biz action figure line, right? And everybody's like, hell yeah. And then people started doing super chats, and that was super cool. And they were like, this is for the van. I'm like, hell yeah, right? So I looked them up because I was like, man, that we got $20. So there we go. We're going to get this damn Punisher and Joker van. Well, the Joker van is reasonable. It's like $70 to $80. I'm willing to do that. That Punisher van is like $500, $600. It's literally the same toy, just different colors, with a Punisher logo on it instead of the Joker logo. And I'm like, man, there ain't no damn way. That just ain't going to happen. But we are going to try to get the Joker van. So any super chats in support of getting the Joker van for the PCP Huntsville Attic Studios, that would be beneficial. Real quick, I do want to say that you can support us here with super chat or just by watching and participating in the stream tonight. Patreon.com/PCP is another place where you can support us, like these fine fellas right here: David, Alex, Brian, Nelson, Reggie, Josh, Brian, David, DD Bullseye. That's Bullseye Bob. So thank you so much. Dean, Dunlaney, HC, Jason, Javi, Kenneth, Monmeet, Michael, Peter, Robert, Seth, Timo, TJ, and William. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. There's your shout out, because I really do appreciate you. You can also find us at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. There's going to be some blogs popping up there soon because, the PCP crew's got nothing to do, so why not write some blogs? You can follow me personally on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers and on Facebook and on Instagram. On Instagram. And if you are on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. We always have a rad time there. Lately, I've been sharing what I've been reading every day during the shutdown quarantine. Look at that. We got some super chats. Thank you so much. We got some money going towards that Joker van. The small little pleasures. Thank you all so much. That's Reggie. And who else is that? Let's go down because I'm way behind now. Let's see. Oh, Green Man and Reggie. They both got 5 on it. Hell yeah. PCP for life got 5 on it. I got 5 on it. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Oh, man. You know how much I love that movie, Us? That movie's amazing. Green Man. By the way, weren't you the cat that was asking me about my Dr. Doom stuff? And I said I'll put up a Dr. Doom display for the stream on Sunday. Maybe I'm misremembering, but somebody said it. So there you go. Ask and ye shall receive. There's the Dr. Doom collection, and we got a special Dr. Doom unboxing coming up in the show and tell portion at the very end of the show. Oh, and thank you, Perry. Supporting the cause. Thank you, Perry. What's up, Stephanie? Yeah, it's a Teen Dog Shades night. These are official Teen Dog Shades from the comic book Teen Dog. It would change your life. What's up, S Squared? What's up, HVAC? Oh, man. Please forgive me. I got to get caught up on some real quick here. Getting caught up on some comments. Oh, Spencer and Locke from Action Lab is absolutely amazing. Get Spencer and Locke 2, and Going to the Chapel. Both of those are by David Papose. He's an amazing fella and a great writer. Those are all 3 really good. What's up, God Tank? What's up, Melphis X1? Yep, Teen Dog Shades. You know what's going on. What's up, Jesse? I don't know. I bet Todd McFarlane's probably just continuing to crank out work, and Paige is probably what he's doing. I don't know. I know he's been streaming. Maybe he's been doing some stuff. Like Rob Liefeld's been doing like sketches that he's been doing of like, I saw one that was Deadpool and Harley Quinn. Of course, that's a popular combination. So he's been like auctioning them off and donating the money to a specific comic shop each time he does it. So that's really cool. Yeah, it is a Doom Shrine. Reverse Amoeba, thank you for being here. Hey, what's up, Logan? You finally made it. Did you get a notification? All right. First six. 6 comic books from my collection to show off. Because I would never rip off Bueller and Bob in their first 5, so I do a first 6. We got a theme tonight the theme, because I figured it's the Teen Dog Shades tonight. Let's do a theme. The theme tonight is double vision. Double vision, right? So the first one to show off is a Fantastic Four #1. That's a facsimile edition that came out a year or two ago. Really nice and clean. It's cool to see that cover like so sharp and popping. Fantastic Four #1 and the double aspect, see? There's a Fantastic Four #1 from the current volume. That's with the Art Germ Reed Richards Mr. Fantastic variant. I have all 4 of the Art Germ ones just because why the hell not? So there's that. Next up, I was talking to Dylan. Dylan just finished reading These Savage Shores, which is a great book, and he loved it. So there's my These Savage Shores #1, cover A, and my These Savage Shores #1, cover B, Tomb of Dracula #1, homage cover. There you go right there. Then we've got Mighty Thor 411. First appearance of Dwayne Turner, the Night Thrasher. And then we've got number 412, the very next issue. First appearance fully of the New Warriors together as a team. My homies, the New Warriors. I love the hell out of the New Warriors. Stay tuned to the end of the show when I reveal my final 9. Just ordered Once and Future, Killock, and Folklords as Quarantine Reads. You are not going to be disappointed. Those are great books. Are you reading Ellis's Batman Grave? If so, what's the thought? Yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing. I'm a big Warren Ellis fan, and I think Brian Hitch has Brian Hitch in his career took off, hit a peak with the Ultimates, and he started kind of dipping down a little bit, just a little bit. But then he popped back up recently with Hawkman, and I also think that this Batman's Grave is some great work from him. Just a lot of action scenes. It's a very structured story. It's a very Ellis structured story. Warren Ellis is one of the best at story structure. I've actually been revisiting some Warren Ellis works here lately. In preparation for a video that's going to drop this week, so be on the lookout for that. But I love the way that he structures his books and the way he lays everything out. And Batman's Grave is very methodical. There's an action scene, there's some exposition, and then there's like some great tender moments, usually between Bruce and Alfred. He writes Bruce and Alfred together like nobody else. I love it. Batman's Grave is really cool. I like it. I know that sometimes when you read it, you kind of like, that was it? That was the whole issue? Or I don't really remember how this connects to what came before. That's something that happens kind of in a long-form story from Warren Ellis. But be assured that when all 12 come together and they have, for instance, DC is committed to only collecting it as 12 issues, not as a 6 and a 6. So that means they know that this is going to really be a great all-around full read. Yeah, I like those FF variants too. The Thing one's good. The Sue one looks nice too. The Johnny one looks good. The Reed is probably my least favorite of the 4, but Reed's my dog. Why didn't he do a Doom? I'd like to see an Art Germ Doom. I'm sure there's been one, right? Surely. What's up, CMA Thunder? Double Dragon, by the way, Robert. Yeah, I should have. I wish I don't have a Double Dragon comic. Did they make one? If so, I need to get it. I loved Double Dragon. You remember that movie? Scott Wolf and some other dude. You remember that? Oh, that first appearance of Night Thrasher. It was a relatively easy and cheap issue to find. I think at most you would have paid $10 for it, but I saw it on some top 10 lists over the last few weeks, and I have no idea why, unless people are just... What are people specking on that book for? I have no idea. But I saw that book pop up on a couple of lists lately. It's not like it's been all over the place. Maybe it jumped up to $12 or something. But no, it's an easier one to find. Maybe not now, like My Comic Shop. Did you hear about that? That closed down. They shut down. They're not taking in new orders. That sucks because that's my online comic shop. When I can't get something from my shop where I work, I usually get one from there. So I went on eBay and got a first appearance of Airwalker because I found out I did not have that in my collection. So that should be coming soon. I'm very excited. I'll probably do an unboxing when it comes in. Oh, look at this mid-grade copy of the first appearance of Airwalker I got. Not connected to the shoes, but he should have. Should have been. Should have been like the logo for those shoes. There's an Airwalk logo up there. Seriously. I've had that brown shelf right there since I was a teenager in the 90s. So it's got all these like stickers from the 90s on it. And I got like an Airwalk logo sticker on it. Because I used to wear Airwalks. Oh, anyway. Let's see here. Oh, Hamburger Basket, what's up? The penciler on These Savage Shores is Sumit Kumar. Did you happen to read the latest Detective Comics annual? If so, the one that was the Alfred-centric story, he was the artist on that one. The artwork in These Savage Shores is brilliant and amazing, and the coloring's done by Vittorio Astoni. And it's amazing. And Aditya Bidikar is the letterer, and Ram V is the writer. It is an all-star, slam-bang, fantastic team. The best of the best in each of their fields. Let's see. Robbie, about that last week's stream, that kind of turned into digital versus print comics. I hear to Stanley. Oh, yeah. I've heard that one. I obviously like a print comic too. I do. I like a physical copy. But I'm not opposed to digital, for instance. Everybody knows in the PCP Army, as they can tell by the pictures I've been sharing, is I've been reading Spawn digitally and enjoying it. Why? Because, I want to read it. I want to read it now. And I don't necessarily have room right now for 300 more comics. And so, yeah, I'm getting them digitally, and I'm enjoying the hell out of them. I do have the first 20 issues physically, though. And I got the Violator series, which I really, really liked, and did not realize that was written by Alan Moore. It's not the most Alan Moore story. It's wild and fun, but I love it. The vision of the clown with some mafioso's face stuck on his arm because he's like whatever. It's so ridiculous. I love it. Those 3 issues. Didn't realize Bart Sears did it either. He only did the first 2, though. Greg Capullo came in and did the 3rd one. So it's a big shift there, but I really liked Bart Sears' take on the clown. I would have liked to see him more fully get to draw the Violator when he's in his full-on bruh. But y'all, I've been loving Spawn on my reread. I really, really have. What's up, Conquistadorks? Yes, it's a Teen Dog Shades night. That means it's going to be a fun night. Loved that Ultimate series. Second run was good, but that first was so money. Yeah, they were both great. I talked about that the other day because somebody had asked me about my thoughts on the Ultimate line. And I said the highlight, the best work there was Ultimates 1 and Ultimates 2. They were absolutely amazing. And it's what they used for the Avengers movie. That's exactly what they used. Not necessarily by story, but by scope and how to relate it to a large modern cinematic audience. That was something that the Ultimate Verse did really good at first. Was the idea is that it's a different time, it's a different age. These heroes wouldn't be radioactive based, and it wouldn't be gamma radiation. It wouldn't be this. It would be genetic manipulation. It would be government conspiracies. It would be that kind of thing. This is like more aliens in a different way. Aliens in the late 90s, early 2000s. Man, do I miss those days. Mostly because I think Supermarket Sweep was kind of almost at its peak in the late 90s and early 2000s. Who was Alan Moore? Hey, what's up, Chaos? How you doing? Everybody's talking about Morrison and more. We're going to be talking about Grant Morrison a little bit later on, and I'm very excited. It's time to testify. My favorite thing about Teen Dog Shades is no matter where I'm looking, it looks almost like I'm looking directly at you, doesn't it? Just imagine I'm always looking directly at the camera. Even when I'm reading. Unless I'm like... But even that, right now, I'm looking at you. Anyway, we're getting silly. What are your thoughts on the continuation story-wise of Red Mother and Something is Killing the Children? What's up, JBlue68, by the way? I really like Something is Killing the Children. I thought that the start of Arc 2 was absolutely phenomenal. I am loving that book. It's one of James Tynion's best. And he's got a lot of bests right now. Enough to do a top 5, hint. But Red Mother I really like, but I haven't heard of anything about it continuing beyond issue 5. I really hope it does. I would like to see more because it feels like there's so much more to come in this story. I see and feel how it could wrap up in one more issue, which solicited there's only one more left. So I hope that the sales make it so that it either continues or at least comes back like Folklords. I think it may do a Folklords thing where it comes back as a series of miniseries, and I think that would be cool and neat and strong. And books like Canto do that. Like I said, Folklords, that's how Hellboy has sustained its entire run. So I think that's a great idea. I mean, Sin City did that. I mean, it's a popular thing. You don't need an ongoing series because, number one, sale, and it gets people back into it and all that kind of jazz. But I really think that Red Mother would benefit for being a long-form story. And so does Something is Killing the Children. The first 5 issues, like if it didn't sell very well, that would have been it. And that would have been a fun, decent story. That'd been fine, but now we get to explore out from this world, and I'm very excited for that. Hey, what's up, Brian? Yes, Alan Moore is a spooky witch. I don't know what he wants to call himself. There's people like to call themselves different things. I don't know if he calls himself a mage or a wizard or a witch. I don't think he calls himself a witch. I don't think most people that call themselves witch recognize in some kind of way with maybe like paganism or like Wicca or something like that. I don't really know. I don't really know much about Alan Moore's beliefs, except for I know that he had an intensive study of the Kabbalah in Promethea. And that's why I think Promethea is an esoteric, necessary occult work to read if you're into it. And also just as a comic book. Oh, Chaos, I'm really liking Red Mother. Red Mother's giving me like Hellraiser type vibes. In the idea that you don't see the Cenobites until way late into the picture, and then they only show up very few moments. And so that's why I'm really thinking this book can be an okay book for us to remember in hindsight, or it can be something really cool if it gets to expand out and kind of like take this further. It hasn't done much in 4 issues, but it's done what it's done very well in my opinion, but it hasn't done much. I'm enjoying Morrison and Sharp's Green Lantern. Me too. It's a little wonky. It's there are different levels of Morrison's writing, and it's that's not the way to say it. There are different levels of there are different ways of, there are different types of, for instance, the Coen brothers, they make 2 distinct types of films. They make really quirky, weird, serious, somber films that are violent and deadly. And then they make weird, wonky, wacky, ridiculous stories that have some deep tragedy into it as well. And they kind of do these 2 things, and sometimes they balance it perfectly in the middle, but every movie they have has all the elements, right? Morrison's kind of like that, and this is more in the line of, it's not as Batman, but it's maybe simpler, but at the same time it's not simple because I don't know. It's hard to describe Grant Morrison's Green Lantern right now. I'm liking it, but I find myself not liking it issue to issue as much. But I will be honest, most of the time when Morrison has a new book coming out, it's almost a rarity. It is usually his superhero work where I get hype and tuned in for each single issue. New X-Men, every single issue I thought was amazing as it came out. JLA, same story. So his Batman run, same thing there. Though I did appreciate it more when I got to look at it above when the whole thing is done and you get to see kind of the patterns and what he's doing with it, and that's really, really cool and fun. So I'm eager to get back and do an intensive reread of Grant Morrison season 1 and 2 once season 2 wraps up, but I should do a reread of season 1 right now. Two Gun, what's up? I don't remember if I already said what's up, but what's up? Pew pew. Let's see. Yeah, you're right, Chaos. That's part of the structure of Red Mother. I mean, it doesn't have to appeal to everybody. That's cool. Yeah, I get your criticism of it for sure. I'm finding myself transfixed by it and it's mostly what I'm putting into the story probably. But it's also a very sleek delivery system for what they're doing. What's up, Daniel? Yeah, Folklore's ended with issue 5, but it will be coming back. It'll be coming back probably with like a different title or a different, like Folklore's blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a series of mini-series, I bet. I guarantee it. Same thing like Kanto did. Kanto had it 6 issues. Now it's going to have a one-shot and then a second series as well. Do you know one book that did that, and it did it so well, and I loved it so much, and where the hell is this book? It's just, I don't think we're ever going to get it again. It's 5 Ghosts. Did anybody ever read that book? Frank Barberi, I think, and Chris Mooningham, I believe, was the artist. 5 Ghosts. It was an Image comic book. It was amazing. It was about this dude who could be empowered by 5 spirits of fiction. There was Dracula, so he could basically get the powers of a vampire. There was Robin Hood. There was Merlin. There was like a samurai. And there was Sherlock Holmes. So he was able to access these different spirits of force and basically invoke them. And it was kind of like an Indiana Jones type vibe. And I really loved that book. It was so pulpy. It was fun. Only 3 books of that managed to get out. And then they promised that it's returning, but I have not seen anything from it. Same thing with Black Beetle, the Francisco Francavilla book that I absolutely adore. And you just, we got like a tiny little teaser of something in like a Dark Horse Presents or something like that, but it was really nothing. Man, I would really like more Black Beetle. I think Boom CMA Thunder is going to be fine throughout this. So, I mean, the whole game may change, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll definitely get the end of Red Mother, though. One way or another. I mean, the biggest part of the industry that to be scared about probably is the direct market, because any of these companies at any time could go digital only if they wanted to. Now, I don't think they're going to do that because the majority of their audience is not the digital audience. That's why I kind of don't really think that there's a battle between digital and physical. I think that there are people like me that do both, but I'm majority physical. And then, there's all that kind of stuff, right? But I think there are people that just read digital. They're maybe they're minimalists. Maybe they don't like to have a bunch of stuff in their house. Then there are people that love to have a bunch of stuff in their house and amass collections. And then there are people that kind of are in between of that, and they want to kind of get stuff in and then send it out and get more in and kind of move it around and things like that. And then there are people that do all of that all together. And I think for the most part, digital is a great addition to the industry. I really, really do. But I don't think that there's a battle. Like, I don't think digital is in any kind of threat ever of supplanting and diminishing the print market, the direct market. But if the direct market doesn't survive, what choice do they have? Marvel and DC, all these companies, they didn't have to not release comics. They could have released digital copies. They haven't because they're showing a support and solidarity of the direct market. Comic Hub was that thing that was supposed to kind of be the bridge, right? So Comic Hub is a company. They sell a POS system, a point of sale system to comic shops. It helps them do inventory and things like that, right? We don't use it, so I don't really have much understanding of how that part of it works. They have a pre-ordering system. It's something that Diamond's trying to do with Pullbox right now, but they haven't quite gotten it down. The idea is that you can go online, pre-order a comic, it gets sent to your LCS gets the order, knows who you are, and they set you up a subscription for it. That's a fantastic idea, as far as I'm concerned, for Diamond especially to do that, or for most stores to have a digital storefront. So Comic Hub, what they wanted to do was they wanted to come in and they wanted to go ahead and release these comics, right, you can go on Comic Hub, and shops would be signed up to this over a few weeks. They would like test it out, whatever. And the idea was that you would be able to go to this Comic Hub app and you would buy a comic book, say Batman 92. They would release it, right? You would buy it. You would immediately get a copy to read digitally, right? Then a print copy would eventually be at your shop waiting for you to pick up. Now, Bueller, on his streams, on his Travis T channel, I think maybe he did one on the Bueller channel, I don't remember, but he did a few streams, and he was very wary of this idea, of the Comic Hub idea. And he was like, what's to stop them from cutting out the comic shops? And he was 100% right about that, homie, and I think that's the fear that most retailers had. But the way it's coming across in the media is that retailers had a problem because they felt that this was a way to get people into digital and out of physical copies. I don't think that was the plan. I don't think that they want to stop printing comics. I think it makes them money. They keep their costs low. Let's be honest. The Marvel comic division of the larger Disney corporate empire, right, is, as long as it just stays right there, they're good. They're good. They're just going, whatever. It's just something that, and they fuel their stories. It's almost like a hey, CMA Thunder, thank you so much. Indie, some publishers, even if some publishers go down, those creators are not going to go down. So you're going to have those books. Good time to check out Kickstarter. Kickstarter's got some good stuff. I've been thinking about maybe covering some Kickstarter books. I have gotten a few that I really, really like, so. Anyway, what was I jamming about? God damn. Who knows? Oh, yeah. I don't think that there's a problem with digital replacing. I don't think that was the idea. It seems like there's a fear from the direct market that people are going to go towards more digital and less physical. Now, people that are into just digital are going to be into just digital. People that are into physical are cool. But most people, not most people, some people would be totally cool with getting their comic books, buy them, as long as it went directly to their shop. So my answer to that was, that's a cool idea, but don't make it just one company that's in charge of that, like Comic Hub. Let's set up something through Diamond. Let's have a digital storefront there for local comic shops, a place where you can go, like their pool box idea, but let's do it. Let's implement it. Maybe let's help the local comic shops do that. Some big comic shops like Midtown, Lone Star, all those ones, Mile High, you can go there, you can pre-order, you can set it all up, you can set up a subscription, it's easy, you can do it all online, and a lot of other smaller shops you can do that, right? And you can also do it through social media pages and stuff like that in a lot of shops. But it'd be cool, the idea of being able to have it's like the digital copy that comes in a Marvel comic, right? But you get it immediately. And the thing is, if you are charged for it when you get it, then the shop's not stuck with an issue it can't sell. If you, for some reason, didn't come and pick it up, I guess that's just something extra, or they could ship it to you or something like that, right? So I don't think that that's a bad idea in this situation. Do you get in this situation? We're in a situation where shops can't really be open. They don't have new product to sell. And the comics, the whole industry is getting halted. So I thought it was a decent idea to try to keep it alive through this. But like Bueller pointed out, it definitely could turn into something more nefarious if it was successful. But I don't think it's a thing to I don't think that it's there's a danger, or some conspiracy that the publishers have to want to convert people over to digital to cut their own costs. But because if that was so, why are they not doing it right now? They could sell digital comics right now on Comixology if they wanted to, and they're not doing that. So I don't think that they understand. And the cool thing, that's what I was saying, Warner Brothers with DC, DC just got to make money and they're fine because, DC is a little bit less. Marvel's more safe than DC would be because Marvel Comics is it's like a farm system in baseball. They're the minor leagues in a way, right? And this is where all the story gets to come out and merge and go around and go through us, the comic book community, and we read it and we react to it and we talk about it and discuss it and we make YouTube videos about it and we make Instagram posts about it and we talk about it and it becomes part of our collective life and ideas. And then Marvel Studios can just pick the best parts, Infinity Gauntlet. Civil War, stuff like that, and then make it into their movies that are huge and make so much money. So it's almost like a petri dish of ideas for movies. And that's just the way it's morphed. That's the way it's changed. And I think it's fine. Change is good and change is strong. And, change is going to happen. Just embrace chaos. Printed copies only for me. I understand the purpose of digital, but I'm old school and the dynamics of physical copies plus the goodies that come with those books can't be replaced by digital. Jay, Blue, you're right. And the other thing that can't be replaced is the experience of going to a great comic shop and interacting with people there and meeting people and building a community and that kind of stuff, right? And getting recommendations from people. That's something that can't really be replaced either. So I think the purpose for instance, every comic book that I actively follow, I buy. Unless it's digital only. The only thing I get digitally is like old school stuff. Like, well, I'm not going to go out and buy 300 issues of Spawn, so I'll just start buying them digitally as I go. And I don't want to hunt. I just want to read them. That kind of a jazz. That kind of a thing. Trade paperbacks, stuff like that. But I also buy a shit ton of trade paperbacks too. So definitely support the physical copies because I think that's obviously the driving force of this industry. Robbie, what series recommend reading that changed you for the better or you couldn't put down? Oh. Comic book that changed me for the better would be The Invisibles. Comic books I can't put down. Man, when I first read Preacher when I was like a teenager, I could not stop reading Preacher. When I first got into Bendis, I could not stop reading Jinx and Goldfish and stuff like that. When Scott Snyder was starting Justice League, I had to reread those over and over and over again. Here lately, the one that's been like that for me has been Decorum from Jonathan Hickman, and now we won't get another issue for a minute. And you can't smell digital, you're right. And digital comics don't increase in value either, yeah. So there you go, there's no spec market with digital comics. However, a digital comic never goes out of print. Never sells out. But that's how I feel about digital. Digital is a great supplemental idea to the comic book collector and the comic book reader. I know plenty of people that buy a massive amount of comics each week, and then they also buy digital sometimes because they'll be like, oh, Comixology had a sale on The Spectre, and I always wanted to read that run. So they get it and they read it. And then most of the time, I know plenty of people that have gone and after reading something digital has come into the shop and wanted it physically. Because if you like it that much, you want to have it no matter what. And there's always a fear of what happens when the cloud disappears. A digital comic, usually it's tied to an app or something like that. What happens? That just goes away. It's gone in it. If it's on your computer and it just your hard drive crashes, it's gone. It's gone away. It's like Skinner said about Tuesday. It's gone. Gone in the wind. Tuesday's gone in the wind. But yeah, I'll tell you what's going to happen. If I get too into this Spawn shit, I'm going to wind up buying all the issues of Spawn. I guarantee it, y'all. I already have a 300. I'm serious as hell, man. They're too expensive right now, though. I don't want to spend $50 on an issue of Spawn because it was low print run and it's the first appearance of Gunslinger Spawn or something. And I think that one's even more expensive. I'm a reader. I'm a collector. Sometimes they go together. Sometimes they don't. But, I mean, my digital, the money I spend on digital comics versus the money I spend on physical comics is like 90 to 10%. It's like very small. Oh, I see plenty of non-Gen Xers at my shop, so I think we're safe. But, I just trying to have a positive kind of idea about it. Not paying more for digital variants, yeah. I don't like paying more for physical variants. There's an online bookstore called Bookshop where they give half the sales to a bookshop affiliated with them. Would be interesting to see what would happen if the comics industry did this. Another thing to worry about in this is Diamond. What's going to happen to Diamond? Because we don't know. Is Diamond going to make it through this? That's a little bit more fishy right there. But we have already lost comic shops. There are certain shops that have already closed down permanently. Hey, what's up, Sleepy Reader 666? Great YouTube channel, by the way. If you haven't checked them out, definitely get on there and subscribe. Damien, welcome. Thanks for joining us. He says, digital has always led me back to physical. Absolutely. That's usually what I see from people. Logan says, it's not the same, Robbie. It's a different experience when you have a physical copy. You're 100% right. I have the first 20 issues of Spawn physically. I read those, and then I started getting them digitally, and I vastly like the experience of the physical copy. Even so, not just the idea of the having the tactile experience, because touch and smell is a big part of the comic book experience. Y'all think I'm joking when I say Vault comics smell the best. I'm not. They do. I smell my comics. I'm not even kidding. It's a part of the experience. It's a sensual experience. Don't take that the wrong way. Really good. But it's not the same at all. And I also like seeing the old ads. It brings up a thing in nostalgia for me. I get it. I understand. But it's I understand. I prefer physical comics as well. But I'm not against digital. Now, if they ever try to make a move to go digital only, that would be really crazy. But I don't think anything like that's going to happen in the foreseeable, 10 years or whatever. Everything going on right now with COVID-19 and all that jazz, it's really putting the whole industry in an uproar, and it's very unclear how we're all going to shake out of this. But I think the print market, the direct market, is still going to be there. I think Diamond, maybe some small publishers, a lot of shops may close. It may be a different world as far as distribution goes. HVAC, they could do that. They could release digital only, no hard copy, and force you to buy digital. They could do that, but they're not doing it right now. So we'll see. We'll see. If this continues going on and Diamond shut down for 2 to 3 months and they are ready, who knows what's going to happen. But I think they're going to try to find other distributors. Boom smells good, but Vault's better. Sometimes smelling comics can bite you in the ass. Sometimes for real. You can be reading a comic book from the 70s and be like, oh, let me get a good sniff, and just not a pleasant experience sometimes. Yeah, Vault and Boom have great texture to feel. The touch. What's up, Hialeah? How are you doing, buddy? Which publishers smell the worst? Marvel, DC? They smell too fake. They do. Marvel comics do not smell good. Not to me. DC is a little bit better because they have changed some of the paper quality, and then they kind of changed some of it back. So they're kind of weird. They're like back and forth. Their DC Black Label ones have a nice texture and smell to them, though. No, we all smell our comics. We all just don't want to admit it. Absolutely, Mikey. He says, as a retailer, I was waiting for something like this to happen. Like a fire, warehouse fire. Yeah, if a warehouse fire goes up, the whole print run goes up, yeah, what happens? Now that the close has already shut down Mindy shops, I say it's time to pull the Band-Aid that is Diamond. I think that's going to happen. If Diamond can't keep up with it, this is what's going to happen. Marvel and DC are going to lead the way. They're going to find other distributors. There are plenty of people that distribute comic books already. Not just Diamond. And it's mostly graphic novels to bookstores and things like that, but they may get into the game. Marvel and DC may start shipping directly to the retailers. It adds a new department, but maybe they can do it. Maybe some small publishers couldn't do it, but a lot of small publishers, they print their books themselves. You know what I'm saying? And then they send them to Diamond. So what's the difference between sending them to the comic shop? Then you don't have one retailer, though. Like, for instance, we don't buy all of our action figures from one distributor. We have multiple. All of our games, all of the other product comes from a myriad of places, not comic books. So that may change. And if there's competition, but what's also to stop these companies from doing that on their own? distributing comics directly to shops. They can do it. TKO's doing it. Maybe TKO was really ahead of the curve with their business model. By the way, if you go to TKO Comics during this whole pandemic, you buy a comic book, put in the name of your local comic shop, they'll send 50% of that to the comic shop. No, John, not at all. All right. I don't have CGC slabs, so I don't sniff those ones. HVAC, I got to do some more research on exactly how Diamond became kind of like the one. I remember that there were two big ones back in the day. I think there was Heroes. I think Heroes was owned and operated by Marvel. I'm not completely sure about that. I'd have to actually, I'd have to research that a little bit more fully. That was all going on when I was way younger, and I just kind of got a vague idea of it. Yeah, Damien, that's a really good idea. A co-op catalog may be all that's needed, I think, so shops have a place to look at everything. Yeah. You know, and I know a lot of shops get their other stuff through Diamond too, like toys and merch and wild, fun statues and neat things like that. But those also come from other distributors too. So, I don't know. Oh, no, John. No, I wasn't saying anything about our shop. We're still doing mail order right now. So if there's anything you need, oh, man. Thank you, Reggie. I like the 444. I like that a lot. That's going to the Joker van. We're trying to get that Joker van. It's like 70 to 80 on YouTube. I mean, on YouTube. On eBay. The Punisher one's way too expensive. $500, $600. There's no way. That's just not going to happen. Maybe I'll buy a second Joker van and paint it. Actually might not be a bad idea. Yeah, that was the idea of Heroes World back when Marvel, Marvel Master. Yep, there you go. They did. It was Marvel. But other distributors would be either Marvel and DC, and some of the small press can distribute directly to the comic shops, or they would be going through a place like, I don't know, there's like Penguin distribution, like Penguin. There's Simon and Schuster or something. I don't know all the names, but like the places that distribute books and magazines, they could get involved like they used to. That's how comic books wound up on the newsstands back in the day. But not cutting out the direct market. And like Sleepy Reader 666 said, they would just need some kind of co-op previews catalog again. Like maybe Diamond just survives as a previews catalog. I don't know. This month's previews, by the way, is a free digital download that they're offering. Yeah, those distributors that send the trades and stuff to the bookstores, those would be the next ones. Those would be probably the ones stepping up. And I'm pretty sure DC and Marvel right now are already talking to those companies. So they're already looking for ways to bypass Diamond. Because as of now, I don't think they're getting paid by Diamond. Oh, thank you, John. Like I already said, I don't really remember. It's so Diamond, I don't remember. Here's the thing is, it's not quietly a monopoly because there are other companies that distribute comic books to various places. There used to be the newsstand. That persisted for a minute. That newsstand doesn't really exist. The Walmart idea is kind of trying to bring that back in a way. But I don't know exactly how Diamond completely got the stranglehold. I know that Marvel had that Heroes World thing, and they apparently mishandled that one. So I definitely have to do some research. So you know what, though? I did not bring a pen in here. I need to study that, and that is a good topic for a video in a typical old school Robbie Rants type fashion. So John, I'll do that. Another $5, that Joker van. We're getting it. We're getting it, damn it. Thank y'all so much. The PCP Army, we're unstoppable. I did a stream with Dylan Friday night here on the channel. I hope you watched it. It was a great stream. I always have fun hanging out with Dylan. He's a super cool cat. Lives up in Cleveland. But and we always go for like 2.5 hours. But I love that. I love Dylan so much. Dylan's the greatest. And I'm so glad that he's reading the books that I sent him. He's read These Savage Shores today, and he just absolutely loved it. So I'm very excited for him to read Maxwell's Demons and Wasted Space. And I also sent him Black Spec, which was the book I worked on, which is going to have a trade paperback available soon. But if you are bored, super bored, and you want to help support my work, you can also get on Comixology or on dancepandacomic.com and buy Black Spec 1, 2, and 3 because I was the editor of that book. Had a lot to do with the development of it, too. But John, thank you for the super chat, and definitely going to do a video about that. I supported my shop by buying gift cards, which I plan to hand out to friends when they reopen. Hell yeah, that's a great idea, Sleepy Reader 666. Brings them in. People always spend more when they get there. If you get them a $10, $20 gift card, they want something that's $25 or $30. It gets them to look around. It's a great idea. We've had a few people do that. Come in. We've had people come in and just put money on their account. So that was really cool. We've seen a lot of support from our community here, and it's humbling. It's humbling because right now we're, by state order, not allowed to be open to the public, but we are doing mail order right now. So, but new comics are a big part of the revenue, and new product. New Magic sets. We're a game store as well, so all that stuff's going on, and all that's on a halt right now too. It's a crazy time. That's a great idea, y'all. Well, Nunya Bizwax, I really get what you're saying there. I think the newstand is where I bought my first comic. I didn't go to a comic shop at first. Newsstands were supposed to be the entry point that brings people into the comic shop when they want to get more specific issues or have more specific tastes and things like that. And that's why I think it's nice to have the comics in the bookstores, because that's almost the same thing in a way. But it would be nice to get them back on newsstands, and that's why I really liked the Marvel or the DC experiment with Walmart, where they had those 100-page giants that just had like a smudge of new material in there that would be enough for someone to want to buy it. But it had a whole bunch of reprinted stories, some of the highlights of the DC universe, you would say. And if you go find that, you get 100 pages of comics for $5 because, let's be honest, $5 for one like 30-page comic seems kind of excessive at times, though I don't think it's super excessive. Because I get more enjoyment out of a comic book than a cup of coffee. And I love my coffee. Especially since Bueller and Bob got me damn hooked back on that shit. They ran out of my cold brew at the store. They ran out of my cold brew, man. They ran out of my Stoke cold brew. Extra bold, unsweet. They ran out of it. I'm going to have to make my own. I'm going to have to hit up Bueller and be like, what's the recipe, homie? Because I keep messing it up. I make it way too strong or way too weak. But that's why I like the idea of a $5 100-page comic. It's reprints, so they don't have to pay creators really to do that, but it's also some new content, so that's super, super cool. So, yeah, I think that's neat, and I think that's really neat. I think that's neat, and I think that's really neat. What the hell, Robbie? Yeah, I like cold brew, man. Cold brew's my jam. I don't mind coffee. I can make coffee in the morning. That's fine. I bought some coffee today so that I could... I had to go to the grocery store a couple days ago, and I couldn't because that's when our shelter-in-place order came in. That place was loaded. And I was like, I ain't going in there. Hell no. So I went this morning. It was way more manageable. People panic buy when those orders first come in. They're messing up because there's certain things that we eat all the damn time, and they're running out. Luckily, nobody likes jalapeno tuna. Pouched tuna with jalapenos. Nobody likes that apparently but me at my grocery store. So that's very beneficial for me. Let's see here. When Marvel went exclusive with Heroes World, DC went exclusive with Diamond, then every other wholesaler had to fold, then Heroes World imploded because they didn't have strong infrastructure. Well, there it is in a nutshell right there. That's kind of what I remember hearing, was that Diamond just kind of, it just became those two, and then Diamond came in, and then when Heroes World folded, it almost seemed like the newsstand, I don't think comic books are on newsstands anymore. But, I mean, they're on newsstands as far as like there's a comic book. Where is the newsstand, though? There's still one at my grocery store, but I don't ever see comic books there. But, of course, if you go to Books A Million or whatever, they're there. They're in their own section, though. They're no longer on where the magazines are and stuff like that. But getting them back into gas stations and grocery stores, that could be a big deal, especially those reprints. You know, I think does Archie still do that? I used to buy Archie Digests all the damn time. And that's how you get the young kids into the market. That's how you get them, is they're there with the candy. What's better than buying your kids candy? Buying them comic books. What's up, Daniel? No, candy's dope as shit. Thank you so much, buddy. I like the 420 there. That's a very appropriate Teen Dog Shades Night type thing to do. Coffee is better than that. Yeah, newsstands don't really exist. You know, and then the idea of what a newsstand actually is. You know, we just did the Comics Revisited on The Watchmen. By the way, Comics Revisited just wrapped up Season 2. Our Watchmen episode. We always end with a bang. In Season 1, we ended with Mouse. Season 2, we end with The Watchmen. I don't want to spoil much, but in Season 3, we're going to end with The Invisibles. This is me and Brian talking for over an hour about The Watchmen. And I had a lot of fun with it. But, you know, newsstand. There's a newsstand right there. Kid's reading a comic book. He's reading the pirate comic book. All that stuff. It's happening right there. Yeah, those don't exist. Maybe in big cities. I don't know. Not Chicago, though, apparently. But thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. More money to that Joker van. We're going to get it. Now I'm thinking we got to get two, because we're going to paint one to be the Punisher van, because $600 is too much for a damn Punisher van. It's literally the same toy. I hope you enjoyed Decorum. I think you'll like it, but you'll like it better the second and third time you read it. Yeah, I want to see comics back on newsstands too. And here's an interesting idea. I've been reading Spawn, right? And here's something I've noticed about Spawn. The direct editions were like glossy paper, right? Excuse me. The direct editions were glossy paper. And the newsstand editions were like newspaper almost, right? There's an idea. Do that too. Print them in a cheaper fashion and put them on the newsstand, because that's what kids are going to get. And then maybe that will help the spec market too. I mean, when that Walmart stuff first started, there was spec on that. That's the first appearance of Jenny Hex, right? Oh, Jay Blue, I didn't know you had a channel. I'll have to check it out. I don't have a pen. God, I got to get a pen in the break. I remember comics at the candy shops. Nerd Ropes. Stephanie, me and you. I think we're going to like the same type of candy, because I absolutely love Nerd Ropes. We sell them at my comic shop. And I'm always impressed with my ability to not eat them all. But we also sell Sour Punch straws. I love the hell out of those. I love anything that is gummy, chewy, and fruity, and sour especially. That's probably my favorite candy. Anything like that. What's up, Billy Power Max? Hey, what's up, Don? How are you doing, buddy? If you need anything, you just holler at us. We're still doing mail order and limited curbside. Depends on who's there. I'll be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday doing some inventory work. Yeah, Kirby. Kirby says, the first comics I purchased were from a convenience store that led me to comic shops. Good times. Same here. Same here. Newsstand. Buying them out. But I did not watch episode 2, so you're going to have to wait for that. I may do another one. Oh, yeah, Jay Blue. I'll check it out. Oh, the Twin Snakes are good. I love those cherry gummies. Oh, my goodness. Haribo. You're right. You're right. I always try to avoid buying a 5-pound bag of gummy bears because I'll eat the whole damn thing. Brian, I haven't read any Alterna books probably in the last year or so, but there was a few from them that I really, really liked. I really liked the 12. I have every copy of the 12, Zero Jumper, and Tinseltown. I really liked those ones. Sonatist started off really good, but it didn't really finish strong for me. Kind of meandered around. John says, so the first time I went into a comic shop was in the 3rd grade. My dad brought me comics to teach me to read. I'm dyslexic and from a small town that didn't know how to help teach kids. Comic books helped me learn to read too. I've been reading comics since I was 5 years old. And back in 1986, that's when I first started reading comic books, and they helped me not only learn to read, they gave me a really deep appreciation and passion for science, mythology, and history, and morality. And I think that those have all influenced me more than anything in my life has been comic books. I thought the Cyberfrog thing already came out. I got a buddy who got one. Nah, I've never a Cyberfrog guy. Star Mix is pretty good. I don't mind Star Mix. I really like the gummy Cokes that you get from Trolley. I love Trolley shit too. Trolley's got some good gummies. Their soda pop ones are so damn good. I love the hell out of those. I need to get some. And also, Twizzlers are one of my favorites. It's my favorite movie snack is Twizzlers and a cherry Coke. It doesn't get better than that. You can't go wrong with classic gummy bears or gummy worms. I prefer gummy worms over bears, but you can't go wrong with a classic gummy. Gummy sharks, gummy frogs, gummy anything. I used to eat these giant gummy rats. They were like almost the size of a real rat. I used to get them at the drugstore where I also bought comic books. I get these giant gummy rats, and I just eat the hell out of it. Somebody gave me like a giant 5-pound gummy bear one time, and I tried to eat that thing. They don't hold very well. One day I tried to cut a slice of it and it had like hair on it or something. I was like, no, never mind. We good. Robbie, I'm too lazy right now to find out myself, but how was Strange Academy #1? I have my copy right here. I'm in the mood to read a comic, but a good one. Haha. Well, I did cover that in my weekly comic book review and my top 10 review for that week because it made the top 10 because it was awesome. It was really good. I'll tell you right now, that book was good. It really surprised me. It is basically Harry Potter meets the Marvel Universe, but Scotty Young and Humberto Ramos do a fantastic job. The art is fire. The pace of the book is cool. They introduce a bunch of new young Marvel characters that have ties to other classic Marvel characters. Usually that stuff can be hit or miss. This was a total hit. It all works. Dormammu's son is one of the characters. It's kind of like the best days of Wolverine and the X-Men, which was when it first started before AVX, when Jason Aaron was just kind of doing his vision. It's got that feel to it. I absolutely loved it. Highly recommend it. Definitely read it. Agreed. Comics helped me to learn to read. First big word, administration. Yeah, I think my first big word I learned from comics was continuity, which I used to call continuity all the time. What will happen to the whole punchline hype? Die down or get more crazy because of the shutdown? More crazy. I'm getting more hype for it. That's what's happening. I think that's one of the reasons why they didn't want to. That's why they were tempted to release digitally, but why they didn't, because here we go. We're ready for this, right? And plus there's a new character even beyond that we need to get hype for. James Tynion mentioned it in his newsletter this week. Clown Hunter 96 going to be the first appearance. Be on the lookout. Butterfinger Bites and Cherry Cokes. Ooh, absolutely a great movie snack, Matthew. Do you remember Butterfinger BBs? I don't think they make them anymore. So good. Yeah, Jay, we have a website, popculturephilosophers.com, that you can find our podcasts on. And a few blogs. I've written a few blogs back in the day, but I haven't written one in a while. Starburst Twizzlers. John, I remember those. When I worked at a Winn-Dixie, it was a grocery store. I worked there in the late 90s when I was in high school. And my everyday lunch was a Dr. Pepper and those Starburst Twizzlers. They were so damn good. Oh my, I miss them so much. I hear you talk about Blade a lot. Who would be your pick as a writer-artist for a Blade series? Brian Hill or Donny Cates, and my artist has to be Juan Ferreira. My absolute pick, though, would be me and Juan Ferreira, because I have a 5-year plan for Blade, and I mention it as much as I can because hopefully one day from Marvel, somebody from Marvel will be watching the video and be like, you know what? Let's see what this cat's 5. They'll let me pitch my Blade plan. I think it's pretty dope. I'm very excited for it. Looking for some books that come out the 25th of March. Oh, yeah, for the comic shop? Oh, yeah, we have a website, but the best way to get in touch with us is on the Facebook page. It's called The Deep Comics at Yahoo. I mean, you can actually email us at thedeepcomics@yahoo.com, or you can message us on Facebook. But we have stuff from March 25th. Yeah, that's why Nunya, the 5-pound gummy bear, could totally gum up your system. That's why I didn't eat it all at once. I tried to let it stretch out for a while. What's up, Share Love T? How are you doing? Strawberry belts and a blue raspberry squishy for movie snacks for me. Hell yeah. Hey, what's up, Bruce? Going to take advantage of this pause of no new books to read all the collected editions I have bought and not read. Yeah, Bruce, you're right. It's a great time to catch up. Can't wait for Finger Guns to resume. Me neither, Logan. Logan, if you can't wait that long, it is available digitally right now on Comixology. They had already had that release kind of scheduled before it all came out, but from this point forward, I think Vault's been on a hiatus for a minute. So I don't think we're going to see Vault releases until, I think there's a trade release at the end of the month that's going to be digital if print hasn't resumed yet. But I don't think print's going to resume till June. Yeah, Starburst Fruit Twist, John. Oh my God. I almost want to buy like a 20-year-old package of it just to, I got to experience that again. They were so good. Oh yeah, you said continuity that way too? I used to say hors d'oeuvres as well instead of hors d'oeuvres. Oh, Sean Phillips and Michael Lark would be excellent on Blade. But we need some really dynamic action scenes that are very kinetic and charged, and that's why I'm saying Juan Ferreira. Yeah, if you like his Middle West run, I think you'll like this. If you like his Deadpool run, was good too. Yeah, Scotty Young is a really good writer. And Ramos's artwork really works for it. Yeah, Morrison would crush Blade too, Tyler. You're right. That would be good. Hell yeah. Well, we're going strong here, y'all. We got a lot more to get to. But before we get to that, it's time for a quick break. For tonight's break, we're going to play a song for you. It's one we've debuted before, but if you watch some of our movie reviews and some of the comics revisited, you're going to hear this song that goes dun 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 dun. That's a song called Let It Be Told. It was the first song I ever wrote that actually got finished in my life, and I'm very excited about it. So I wrote all the music here. My buddy Kevin did the drum beat. So Kevin did the beat. I did all the instrumentation. What's up, Ancient Unique? We're about to go on break, but we'll be right back. So during this break, we're going to be playing this song called Let It Be Told. I wanted it to have a fun reggae type vibe, but I wanted it to almost be like we had a music video planned for this. So just let me give you my vision. The music video would have been us showing up in an alleyway, because me and Kevin, it's Contact and Skeptic, were our stage names. And we would have shown up in an alleyway, and we would have just had one tiny little amp, and we would have had 2 mics plugged up into it. And we just start, and then like the beat starts, and we just start playing the music, and dun 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 dun. And then as we're doing the song, all these people show up, and they gather, and they make bleachers, and we're basically doing a church service in an alleyway. So that would have been the idea for this video. But we never did it. The Basement Show is no more. But this is The Basement Show, my former hip-hop group, performing Let It Be Told with a really doofy picture of me from 2006, playing the bass. Anyway, we'll be right back, y'all. Don't go away. We got a lot of fun Teen Dog Shades type stuff coming up.
but I'm not talking about my shit. I'm well equipped, doing quick with my vital lyric that I spit from my soul. It's the essence of my being. Stop fighting amongst each other, it's us, they are deceiving. Demons, they be screaming in my ears, this negativity, conceiving what I'm dreaming. No fear since my nativity. Bring to me these gravities, brought on by urgency, insurgency. The currencies are nothing but fantasies, they fallacies, flying in the face of true policy. Honestly, did you really think that you could run from me? It's sad to see these tragedies break down our abilities, complexities we need to succeed universally. Greed's not me, so please don't be deceived. Receive what I speak, cause when I speak sincerely.
Idolize us, we're just speaking our minds, turning thought into verse so it sticks in your mind. We don't front or try to fake it, you can leave it or you can take it. We don't fit the mold, all we do is fucking break it. Yeah, we smoke, we drink, we say some fucked up shit, but our actions do the talking and our flow is legit. Don't let your misguided anger turn you into a statistic. Use it to make a difference, fight corruption, greed and ignorance. We speak the truth, all your haters can't stand it, cause when we on the mic it's like we from a different planet. We bring you truth and knowledge mixed with purpose, can you stand it? Talking about revolution like our forefathers planned it. We don't use guns and violence like corrupt governments. Just use your hearts and minds and make a positive effort. We can change the future if we understand it's urgent. So stop making excuses, use your knowledge for a purpose. Let's break these walls down, turn things around. Rule of 182 with your feet on the ground.
I'm philosophically sound, I'm poetically bound, and I'm chained to the truth until the mystery is found.
Kingdoms of this earth overestimate their worth, condemned to be dirt from the moment of their birth.
There's only one in this kingdom, bringing constant truth, freedom, the kingdom from above. Freedom, see I need it when I'm cut, yo I bleed it, I conceive it as the evidence of democratic relevance. The elements we face in this race to make haste, may shake up my faith, but it will never be replaced. Like lightning I'm striking with lyrics so enticing, inviting to listen all of those that wish to fight me. Might be the icing on the cake of opportunity. Let me take this chance to spit some Deuteronomy. The Lord God is one, and so should his people be. This unity will prove to me concepts of personality. Historically we see in moments of crisis, they seem to rise from lies, and when the people are divisive. Try this, you'll find this, the truth is enlightenment. In front of it, people put their faith in the government and welfare. Do they care how we fare? It's not there, just beware of the traps when time's up.
Let's break these walls down, turn things around. Rule of 182 with your feet on the ground.
I'm philosophically sound, I'm poetically bound, and I'm chained to the truth until the mystery is found.
Kingdoms of this earth overestimate their worth, condemned to be dirt from the moment of their birth.
There's only one in this kingdom, bringing constant truth, freedom, the kingdom from above.
Let's break these walls down, turn things around. Rule of 182 with your feet on the ground.
I'm philosophically sound, I'm poetically bound.
Hey everybody, welcome back here to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Billups, and we're doing a live stream. We still got a ways to go. We got lots of exciting stuff to talk about tonight, including Grant Morrison and the Invisibles and its influence on my life. Oh man, I forgot my Teen Dog shades. What just happened? I knew something didn't feel right. Sorry about that, y'all. Anyway, welcome here to a Teen Dog Shades night of Rockin' Robbie Live. We're going to be talking about Grant Morrison, chaos, and comic books, and its influence on my life. We'll be talking about some animated series theme songs. It's going to be the question of the week. We'll get to that later. We'll be doing show and tell. The show is driven by your comments, your questions, your thoughts, all that stuff and more. So let's kick this second half off strong with some questions. Get them in. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to ask me? You got some book recommendations you want? You got some thoughts you want to share? Let's get them out right now. I do want to point out, though, first of all, thank you for being here and joining us and not watching WrestleMania or something like that. I don't know if Westworld's still going on. Whatever's going on, I don't know. Once you get in here, though, let us know that you're here. Let us know you're safe, secure, and sound, and let's get crazy. It's a Teen Dog Shades night, and it's the second half of a Teen Dog Shades night. That means we're getting wild. No questions off limits. We're opening up the floor right now for any questions about aliens, government conspiracies, not related to the coronavirus, ancient civilizations. I was planning on doing an Atlantis ancient civilization idea, but that's not going to be quite tonight. But the big focus tonight is going to be on Grant Morrison, chaos magic, and the Invisibles. But let's get wild in the second half, y'all. I'm excited. We got some fun show and tell. We got the final 9 coming up. All that jazz. But thank you for being here. Please do like, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and more. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, you can follow PCP there as well. We are also on Instagram, and you can check it out, popculturephilosophers.com, for podcasts and a whole lot more. And you can support us at patreon.com/PCP or with the Super Chat here tonight. All Super Chats tonight are going to the Joker van from Toy Biz, and I think we're like halfway there, so we're going to work it out. All Super Chats, until it's done, are going to go for that. So, there you go. We're going to get it. We're going to do a whole damn video about it. I'm excited. Thank you all so much. But if you are inclined to support us on Patreon, you can do so. Patreon.com/PCP, just like these fellas right here. Super cool cast. Let me give them a shout out. David H., Alex, Brian W., Nelson, Reggie, Josh, Brian A., Brian S., David G., DD Bullseye, Dean, Dunlaney, HC, Jason, Have, Kenneth, Monmeet, Michael, Peter, Robert, Seth, Timo, TJ, and William. Thank y'all so much. We got some questions. King or James's run on Batman? Who's your pick? I can't really necessarily make that decision solely right now because I do have the luxury of being able to look back on Tom King's entire run. I don't have that luxury of James Tynion's. However, based on Tynion started at issue 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. He's had 6 issues, 1 arc, right? Compared to Tom King's first arc, I think Tynion's is immensely better. Also, I can compare it to Tynion's run on Detective Comics. I think Tynion's run on Detective Comics is far superior to Tom King's run on Batman. And I always said that in my weekly comic book reviews for the most part, was that I thought Detective Comics was way stronger than Batman was during Rebirth. And Tiny Ian's a big reason for that. Thank you, Mikey, so much. Helping keep that Joker Van Dream alive. The Punisher Van Dream is dead, but the Joker Van Dream is alive. Thank you so much, Mikey. He says, been happy to see so many people organizing their comics right now and sharing it on PCP's Facebook. Robbie or anyone else have any storage solution ideas? The newest idea that I've implemented that other people have been doing forever is I got one of them like garage shelf storage unit things. It was great. I don't remember what it's called. It holds like 4,000 pounds or something. I bought it off of Walmart.com for like $50 or $60 or something. I think David Hatch led me to it. He's got a bunch of them. So I decided I'd get one of these, and that's where I want my comic collection to fit. So it fits 5 small boxes on each shelf. So it's 5 shelves including the top. That includes the top. It's 5. But there are 4 shelves that I have in there. You could probably get another shelf and make it so that it would fit more, but it'd be tight. Right now I have my comic books on it, and then I have my carded action figures ahead of it. But I think those are fantastic. They're sturdy, and they hold. So even if you just use the 4, which I'm using, because the only thing I have on the top of the rack are empty pop boxes, filled pop boxes, and that's literally all that's up there is pops. So I just have boxes of pops up there so they're not too heavy. But it's supposed to hold 4,000 pounds regardless. Anyway, I got 5 long boxes on each shelf, so it holds 20 short boxes. Not long, shorts. 20 shorts. Now, I got more short boxes off to the side. I plan on whittling my comic book down, looking at it, counting it up. That means I got to get rid of like almost half of my comic books. So I've not really delved into the idea of doing an auction or anything like that. What we usually do is we give them out in mystery boxes when we do the expo. The Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, we sell a $10 mystery box. We give 10% to Comics for Kids. And we usually sell out, and I usually use my collection. We buy some action figures and pops to give away as well. So you always get comic books, and you always get like a collectible in a $10 mystery box from PCP. But we only give those away at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, which is in July, which I just deleted the images for, so I can't show you. I was like, I'm done with these images. We don't need to use them. Anyway, but so I really like that. Get them on a rack. Get them up there. They need to be accessible. I don't like them stacked on each other. They're always hard to get to. Your stuff winds up disorganized. My stuff is wound up disorganized because they were all stacked on each other. So get them accessible. Whether it's on a table, you can put long boxes on like a fold-out table, similar to the table that I use for the podcast. You can literally see it right there. Just a little folding table right there. You can fit some short boxes on that. You can even do below if you needed to. If you have cats, keep them off the ground. For sure. My cat loves to chew cardboard boxes. But that's what I like. And I've been getting some really good ideas from the Geminites Facebook group, which is Jim's Facebook group from Jim Collectibles. They use these like IKEA things for their omnibuses, and they look really nice. And as y'all notice, I'm literally using milk crates. And I bought a bookcase one time from Big Lots, and it was all busted up. But I had shelves that were salvageable. So I took my milk crates. I've had these milk crates for like over 20 years right now, these milk crates. And, dude, it's working. It's working right now, but I want to get something nicer for that. And I want to get some LEDs behind them and shit. So yeah, with the 20 that are up there, I have 17 more. That's 37. No. I have about 40 short boxes of comics. I've had more in my life, but I always purged, and I haven't purged in a while. I haven't purged since last expo. So the mystery boxes are available on the Patreon, but it's a super high level. I have not rearranged the Patreon. The Patreon, I've been meaning to go in there and like clean that up and make the levels different. But and make the mystery box a little bit more accessible. Basically, I want to take the idea of the $10 mystery box and add shipping, which shipping's probably going to be like $12. So I'm thinking about a $20 or $25 level to get the mystery box. But they're usually good, and you always have a chance of getting something super dope. But I haven't done that yet. So if people are interested in PCP mystery boxes, let me know. But right now, we just do them. Right now, for the most part, we do them at the local con that we do. And we always sell out. And we give 10% to Comics for Kids. $40 short boxes is awesome. Thank you so much, Thunder God 75 Comics. However, I know people with so many more. David Hatch was in here in the first half, and that cat has so many damn things. He had about like 20 of them racks. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. We got our first Teen Doggy conversation of the night. Let me get into some plugs real quick. We did a Street Fighter movie review, and we had to do it live because we're practicing social distancing here at PCP. So no one's allowed in studio but myself and my cats and my dog. And I guess my lady. Yeah. Alicia can come in here too. But, so we did a Street Fighter movie review as a result of the PCP movie poll. So, at the PCP Army, which is our official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group, we do a poll every so often. We have one that's active right now. So in this poll, we had Blank Man, Street Fighter, Meteor Man, The Shadow, Sky High, and The Mask. And Street Fighter won, so me, Brooks, and Jelani watched Street Fighter, and we discussed it live with everybody that was there in the chat. It's on the stream right now, or it's on the channel right now. The Watchmen episode of Comics Revisited, the 40th episode of Comics Revisited, and it signifies the end of Season 2. Season 3 will be in the second half of this year. We'll see how everything shakes out. I don't want to do that one live. I want to do that one in studio, so we're going to wait and see what pans out here. But that is available to watch right now. And it's a really fun, great episode I did with John. I like it a lot. But there is a PCP movie poll right now in the PCP Army. It's horror themed. So join the PCP Army, or if you're already there, vote right now. It's pinned at the top of the page. There's a poll going on to see what movie out of the following we are going to watch and review for next week. Not this week, but next week. This week, though, me and Jelani and Brooks are doing a stream. Haven't pinpointed the day right now, but I'm aiming for Wednesday. And I got to stream with Bob on Thursday or Friday. Got to see what's better for him. He hasn't messaged me back yet. Anyway, right now the current PCP Army movie poll is Leprechaun, Van Helsing, Pumpkinhead, Slither, Critters, and Scanners. And last time I looked, Critters was winning in a landslide. A landslide. But Mikey, thank you so much for the super chat. You're getting us closer to that Joker van from Toy Biz from the early 90s, and I'm super excited. I got the Joker, got the Bob the Goon, got the Batman, got the Penguin, got the Riddler, got the Two-Face, got the Mr. Freeze. I may even be tempted to open up the Mr. Freeze, Two-Face, and Riddler if I get that van. Well, John, you can't vote for Pumpkinhead here. You got to get in the PCP Army. Are you a part of the PCP Army, John? Are you? I know you're on Facebook. Have you joined the PCP Army yet? Go vote. Right now, Pumpkinhead is really, really... Yeah, Frankie, I'm right there with you. Critters 2 is the best one. But I want to get the Blu-ray. There's like a set that's like $50 right now on Amazon. I want to get that. It's all of them. Wasn't there a new series or whatever? Let me look right now and see where we stand live. Go into the PCP Army right now. The hypest, dopest, most teen dog shadiest night group on Facebook. We have 408 members. So we could use some more. Why don't y'all jump on in if you haven't already? Right now, Critters is in the lead with 21 votes, followed by Van Helsing with 11, Leprechaun with 7, Pumpkinhead with 3, Scanners with 2, and Slither with 1. Only 1. Hey, I just got a couple of PCP requests. Hell yeah, y'all. Tyler, you're approved. Fable, you're approved. Hell yeah. What's up, ALD Collects? Yeah, the shades are on. Somebody asked me about Bigfoot. So I guess that's the good first shades type topic to get into is Bigfoot. I would like to think that Bigfoot is real, but I don't know if Bigfoot's real. Back in the 90s, maybe even the early 2000s, I would have totally said, Frankie, you got to vote in the PCP Army. Or were you already the one vote for Slither? Slither is dead last. It's going to take a lot to overturn Critters. This is a Critters is going away with a landslide right now. Now, this poll is going to go throughout the rest of this week. So Sunday morning with Sever in the lead, so we can corral some people together. But right now, it's Van Helsing in 2, but very distant number 2. And Critters seems to be the way that we are going to go. Oh, Atari, I've showed my most valuable comic many times. I almost showed it tonight because I have this Doom Shrine behind me. But my most valuable comic is a Fantastic Four number 5. First appearance of Dr. Doom. Back to Bigfoot. Back in the 90s, maybe the early 2000s, I would have said that I believed in Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster. Nowadays, I don't. I just don't. I think if Bigfoot was real, we would have found him by now. Do you know how many people are out there hunting for Bigfoot, man? Bigfoot sightings, now I haven't researched Bigfoot sightings near as much as I have, say, ancient civilizations or aliens. Those are kind of two of my main things when it comes to this kind of stuff, the paranormal. But I don't think ancient civilizations is paranormal. I think that's just a section of archaeology that hasn't really quite exploded yet. Does that make sense? Anyway, so, I don't know. The most famous footage of Bigfoot is so obviously faked. It's somebody in a suit. Now that's the one I grew up with. The one that was like, this is the proof of Bigfoot, is this photo of this dude in a suit walking. I mean, it's fake, man. Now, when it comes to Bigfoot, I'm going to basically be like, I'm not an expert on Bigfoot mythology. And obviously there's more than Bigfoot when you take this into consideration. Excuse me. There's more than Bigfoot when you get into the consideration of this shit, right? So there's like the Yeti, the abominable snowman. There's other kind of like big creatures that could possibly exist in certain areas, right? See, I fiddle with this mic too much. I got to get a nice one. Why are we collecting money from Okay, so we'll do right now, any super chat, we'll do the Joker van. As soon as we get the Joker van, maybe we'll do I've been wanting to do a cheesy-ass fundraiser live stream. I'm wary of a live stream going 4 to 6 hours, but Dylan does it, so why the fuck not? And then we'll get the Joe Rogan mic. But speaking of Joe Rogan, I have to give more sway to what he thinks about Bigfoot, because Joe Rogan was admittedly a Bigfoot believer, hardcore, and kind of fell out of it. So I'm kind of along the lines of what he says here, is that it's a nice thing to believe, and all of these paranormal, supernatural things are excellent things to believe, right? They're fantastic stuff to believe. But there's just, I don't know. Bigfoot should have been, I don't know. I have no idea. It seems like most of the Bigfoot evidence is BS. So I'm kind of along the lines of thinking about that. I don't know if I'm quite on board with Bigfoot. I really want to be. And now it's actually made me want to God, I didn't grab a pen. It makes me really want to get more into the Bigfoot idea. Because I've just completely basically blew my load on aliens and UFOs like a month ago. Somebody had asked me if I believed in aliens, and yeah, absolutely, 100%. Have they joined the Earth yet? Have they come here? I'm not sure. I got some ideas about that get delved out more fully. That maybe we'll do that for another Teen Dog Shades night, or maybe we should do it right now. But I did as far as contemporary and old school UFO alien ideas, I did a whole the last Teen Dog Shades night was about that. If you go back and find the Rockin Robbie Live that has the alien on the with the shades on, that Brian A put together. If you can find that one, that's the live stream that I did that, but I cut out that whole segment here on the channel. So if you just typed in Rockin Robbie PCP aliens, you'd probably find it. Doom Shrine is a good band name. Yeah, that's good. I think that does sound good. No, I don't think, though, that Bigfoot is real at this point in my life. Have you seen the documentary Russian Yeti? No, I have not. Is it a good one? Where's it at? Is it on... I don't have my pen. Is it on YouTube? Is it on Netflix? Is it on Amazon? Hulu? Where's it at? My newest semi-major purchase I got in the mail a couple days ago was the CGC 9.0 Astonishing Tales 25. Nice. What's Astonishing Tales 25? HVAC, you got a good point. I find it funny that the more phone cams that are out there, the less evidence we saw. They all went into hiding. Yeah, like now it would seem like there would be an explosion of sightings because everybody's got a phone in their pocket that's got a camera on it. And that's not something that happened throughout most of the history of these sightings. But you don't see them. I think a lot of it's mistaken as like bears and shit like that. Dude, I found... One time we were camping, and the Chiba Nation crew was camping back in the early '80s, and a fox came up on our campsite. I freaked the fuck out, dude. I thought Bigfoot was coming for us. It was just a damn fox. Oh, there's a lot of people in the PCP Army that collect y'all. Yeah, you gotta get wary, Nunya, about conspiracies. There's a great quote from Alan Moore about conspiracies, but my favorite quote about conspiracies comes from Robert Anton Wilson, and the quote is basically something like, imagine all the world as one big conspiracy run by a secret group of, close people, and that's you and your friends. I think that's the best way to view life. It may not be the reality, but reality and the way you view it, sometimes they get a little malleable. I think we can possibly at times make our own reality in certain situations, obviously not in all. I keep looking, but I can't find you on Facebook, Robbie. You can't find the PCP Army? If you can't find that, just find Pop Culture Philosophers, and there definitely should be something there to lead you there. Yeah, Nunya, as far as the moon landing goes, I'm not a part of the moon landing conspiracy. I don't buy that shit at all. This may be because I live in Huntsville, Alabama, and we have a close tie at times to NASA and the space race back in the day and the moon landing. So I think the moon landing being fake is complete bullshit, and I think the moon landing actually happened. That's just me, though. There's some interesting ideas about it, though. There's some interesting ideas about it, especially how it relates to The Shining. They found the equivalent of fingerprints on Bigfoot track castings. Yeah, Green Man, I got to do more research on the Bigfoot stuff because I haven't really delved into that for a while. Have you watched Tiger King? No, share love. I still have not watched Tiger King. I've managed it this far. I might as well just keep going, right? I think I know everything I need to know about Tiger King already. I don't think I need to watch it. I'd rather rewatch Clone Wars. That's what I've been doing. I'm 2 episodes into season 1 right now and loving it. I've already seen the first 2 seasons of Clone Wars. I haven't seen the rest, so now I'm starting from the beginning again. Have you read any of the Missing 411 books? That dude links missing persons cases with Bigfoots. No, I have not, Chris. I wish I had my pen with me. Sounds like a decent read. Is that like books? Are there multiple like novels about this? Not novels, but books about this? Like nonfiction? What the hell? Nunya says, Bigfoot does not exist, goddammit. End of story, LMAO. So many better viable conspiracies and things like that actually can be debated. And so many conspiracies that have been proven. Mostly of the ones of false flags and shit like that. You know, we just did this Watchmen Comics Revisited episode. Which leads me to, once again, show you this thumbnail. Because I like it. Because, you know, obviously, if you steal Dave Gibbons' artwork, it's going to look good. But anyway, Comics Revisited, we just did a revisit on Watchmen. And it's a false flag event, right? And some of these have been proven true. And so one of the problems with conspiracy theories, and even someone as nutty as Alex Jones would tell you this, is that 95% of them are bullshit. He's got a crazy idea about like extra dimensional beings making alliances with our government and certain elite officials in our government and the corporate aspect. And he's got some nutty ideas, doesn't he? Jesus. But at the same time, it doesn't sound, some of that doesn't sound too far off from what Grant Morrison proposes. Or what he proposed. If you look at Morrison's work, he actually kind of has backed off of it a little bit lately and is explaining it more as something that's happened inside of him. We'll get to that in a little bit. We're 2 hours in. Holy shit, we're almost 2 hours in. These teen dog shades night. It seems some more people are into this missing so there's 411 people that are missing that they tie to Bigfoot. Where can I find this? Oh, so they're books. What comic books this year surprised you the most? Well, as far as 2020 goes, there's not many. But the ones that have surprised me the most: Strange Academy, Black Stars Above, Black Stars Above is from Vault. Strange Academy is from Marvel. Jimmy Olsen continues to surprise me every single issue as being one of the best comic books on shelves. So Jimmy Olsen from DC. Folklore's really surprised me. I'll go with those. The Misplaced from Source Point Press surprised the hell out of me because I wasn't expecting something of that caliber from that company, and it blew me the fuck away. Man, more people are on this 411 stuff than me. I need to check this out. I wish I had my damn... I'll forget it without my... I don't know if I can do that while I'm on here. Yeah, I can't really change that while I'm here. Okay. COVID-19 is not a conspiracy, but there are people that have conspiracy theories about it. I don't really want to get into that tonight. Sometimes these missing people are found in places that they could not have physically traveled to. Well, yeah, I get that. That's the same with alien abduction. It's a common thing that happens. People have these paranormal, supernatural experiences, and lost time is a part of it. If there's a Bigfoot connection to that, I don't know about that. So I need to check out this I wish it was a documentary, but I need to check out these books, or I just need to look it up. 411. I think I'll remember that now. 411. Fable 80, you're right there with me. Stealth surprised me as well. Stealth's a good one. First issue out right now. I wanted to believe in the Loch Ness Monster back in the day too, but I think those are hyped up. But Bigfoot, Loch Ness, that's interesting. I think there are plenty of creatures that we haven't discovered yet. I don't know if anything that big. We'll see. That'd be really neat. Hey, what's up, James? Oh, Zen, you're right. Hellions was surprising as well. That was really good. Thunder, I have enjoyed Undiscovered Country. I think it keeps getting better. It's a slow burn, but I'm liking it. Oh, so they did do a documentary. A Missing 411 documentary came out last year about hunters who went missing with no trace. See, that could be tied into a lot of things. How did they tie it into Bigfoot? I guess I'll have to watch and read. Nunya, I think the premise of Undiscovered Country is pretty fun. It's a slow build, and they're like really getting into it. I think they're planning on like 50 plus issues on this, so I think it's just in the early stages. But I'm actually liking it because they're able to take American folklore and mythologize it into the future, and that's something that's really neat to me. Because when it comes to ancient civilizations, I'm always like, what we think of as myth, they may have thought of as fact, and what are we misrepresenting what they thought because of their language of describing it? So it's interesting to project into the future what could happen if this civilization ended and 1,000 years from now people dug up our civilization. What would they think? They would probably get some wacky ideas about what we believed. Alternate realities are real. Yeah, I do believe in the parallel universe, multiverse theory. I think that's pretty strong mathematically, and I'm down for it as a source of fiction, and I'm down for it as a source of part of potentially what is reality. I think it's 100% totally plausible. Absolutely. See, what do you think the story behind the Bermuda Triangle is? Man, that's an interesting one, isn't it? That's a good idea to do one about that as well. The Bermuda Triangle seems like, okay, so I am totally down with the idea that there may be forces on this Earth, like tied into like the magnetic field or something, that certain areas have a higher rate of certain weird phenomena. Right? I'm totally down with that. It seems like a lot of weird things happen in the Bermuda Triangle. It could just be a stormy system, a difficult to navigate system. Could be like that's why we have so many missing planes and all that kind of stuff. But the things that so many people have reported, like some kind of vortex there or something. And I'm not against the idea of that. So I think that's a pretty wacky, fun, cool idea to have about the Bermuda Triangle. I don't hear much new about the Bermuda Triangle, though. What's the last Bermuda Triangle story that happened? And I need to get caught up on this. What's up, Nola Nerd? In Louisiana, we have a swamp. You're in Louisiana. Are you doing good? You safe? You secure? You careful? Good to hear from you. In Louisiana, we have a swamp monster called the Rougarou. Half wolf, half Bigfoot. Myth of a swamp monster. There's a lot of myths like that. Around the world, there's Bigfoot, there's the Yeti, there's the Rougarou, there's the Chupacabra, there's the Jersey Devil, there's the Mothman. There's all kinds of weird, crazy other creatures. And the thing is, every year we find new creatures. So the idea that there's something crazy out there that we haven't seen or discovered yet is totally plausible. I just think with the Bigfoot thing, more would have been discovered at this point. There's literally almost no new information for me, but I haven't delved into it super crazy since like 20, 30 years ago. It's like the stuff I watched and read when I was a kid is the same evidence, the same stuff, but I need to get more caught up on that. I tried to watch the Rob Lowe show he did with him and his sons hunting Bigfoot, and I couldn't get into it. But What's a good Bigfoot show if anybody's into that shit? With so many people are looking for Bigfoot, like surely they would have found something. But yeah, swamp monster, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. And there may be something down there that we don't know yet. It might be a crocodile attack. I have no idea. But when you're alone in the swamp at night by yourself, I've never been in that situation, thank the gods, but holy crap, I can imagine how scary that would be. Like I said, I was camping one time and a fox came up on our campsite and I freaked the F out. I thought something big was coming after us. It was a damn little fox. Brian, I've heard about the Devil's Sea before, actually. I think they're the hot spots, and I'm totally down with the idea of hot spots, especially things that could be, I'm totally down with more like idea that went into wacky physics, more so than xenozoology, right? That's not what it's called. What's it called? Cryptozoology? Cryptozoology, right? I'm more down with wacky physics stuff over that, like portals and dimensions that open up in special parts of the earth that have a certain magnetic field resonance or something. I have no idea about this shit, but I mean, that's crazy, right? I mean, it's interesting ideas. It's fun, crazy stuff. There's a legend in our local area about Lacey Springs in the woods out in the wild having like that there was a circus train that crashed or something, and there were panthers and leopards and tigers in the woods out there. Well, when that fox came up me on the campsite, I would have thought a damn tiger was coming out of us. Now, we do have like cougars and some things like that in this other area and all that kind of stuff, but when I started doing some research, I realized that a lot of places have this idea, this legend, this urban legend of a overturned circus train leaking animals out into their wild. So it's not an original idea. Hey, what's up, Jim? Do you remember that movie Rock-a-Doodle-Doodle? Rock-a-Doodle-Doo. I loved the hell out of that when I was a kid. I thought it was so cool. That dumbass Elvis rooster, that was so stupid, but I bought into that like a motherfucker when I was a kid. I loved it. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Here's to you. Glad to see you're live and safe. I saw that you were live earlier and I didn't have a chance to dip in. I wanted to. I've been missing them for the last few weeks. I miss them. I love your live streams. Jim does a live stream every Sunday morning pretty much with his wife that is absolutely fun and just awesome. They were talking about Tiger King. I guess he watched Tiger King. I still haven't watched it yet, but I'm pretty sure that eventually after all this is said and done, I'll watch it, but I'm right now I'm just focusing on Clone Wars, trying to get caught up on that. Oh, Unsolved Mysteries was totally spooky back in the day, HVAC. And what's crazy is I would watch Unsolved Mysteries so that I would see like crazy spooky stuff about like the Bermuda Triangle or Bigfoot or angels or aliens or anything like that, right? And I would do that, right? And I'd get into it. But the thing that would scare me the most would be like unsolved cases of murder. And they would show like police sketches of what this person looked like, who was connected to this person who went missing like 20 years ago or something. And I just kept envisioning it in my window, and it would freak me out when I was like 11, 12 years old. It would freak me the F out. I wish I had my pen with me. Thinker Thunker on YouTube for Bigfoot videos. Okay. A good Bigfoot show doesn't exist. What about subterranean worlds? Hollow Earth theory? I think if there was a hollow Earth, we would be able to detect that scientifically. We kind of know what's in the center of the Earth. So I'm not quite sure about the idea of the hollow Earth. It's a fun, interesting theory. It really, really is. But I just don't give much credence to it. I'm much more interested in ancient civilizations ancient advanced civilizations being undiscovered than I am subterranean worlds. Oh, no lie, I totally get that. Louisiana is a hotbed for the beer bug because of Mardi Gras. There was 2 million people here in February. No one cared about the bug. The people, yeah, they did Mardi Gras. I think that told not to really do Mardi Gras, but they did it, and I think that led to the explosion there. It's also a hot spot for paranormal stuff, and I've always wanted to visit Louisiana. I've driven through it in a bus on the way to San Antonio on a band trip in my sophomore year of high school. But San Antonio was a really fun spot, but we just drove through. All I remember about Louisiana is these long L-shaped bridges that we had to go over or something. I think it was outside of New Orleans or something like that. But I've always wanted to go down there and do like the cemetery tours and all shit like that. I don't believe in ghosts, but I think that ghosts are really interesting. And I don't believe in ghosts, but if I'm alone in a haunted place or with a small group in a haunted place at night, I get creeped out. And that's why I love Ghost Adventures. It's just so much fun and goofy to me. Like I said, I don't believe in ghosts, but ghost stories really intrigue me, and going to haunted places really is exciting to me. We have a few here in Huntsville, but they're not near as exciting as what's going to be in Louisiana, especially New Orleans. Ragaroo. Okay, I got you. Ragaroo. I see that now. Ragaroo. Yeah, Nola, I mispronounced so much shit here on the channel. I don't give a shit at this point, but thank you for Ragaroo. I like that. Every time I get in touch with a new creator, they send me their shit to review. I always ask them how to pronounce their name. You can never be sure. I'm serious as hell. I'll mispronounce your name in a heartbeat. Hey, what's up? Bob's here. Everything Comics. What's up, everybody? If you haven't subscribed to Everything Comics or Jim Mint Collectibles, do so now. Friends of PCP, they are. Bob, I don't think you messaged me back. Thursday or Friday for you, buddy. You let me know. You message me. You let me know. You tell me here. Let's do it. Then I've heard that as well, that Clone Wars doesn't hit its stride until Season 3. And I know I've already watched 1 and 2, but I'm a completist, and when I do a rewatch, I do a rewatch. So I've been enjoying it, though. I liked Clone Wars 1 and 2, so if it gets better than 3, I'm very excited. Mole Men? No. The only Mole Men I subscribe to are this dude's Mole Man. This dude's Mole Man. I just love that damn action feature. I opened that up the other night. Yeah, I want to go into one of those, like, nighttime bayou ghost story things. That would creep the hell out of me. I'd love it. I love it. I love haunted houses. I love all that shit. I don't believe in ghosts, but that doesn't mean they don't scare me. Do you know what I'm saying? Watch Unsolved Mysteries in the Dark. My creepiest case was the 2 kids who were killed in Arkansas on the train tracks. It's since been reopened. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Noah. The scariest things of Unsolved Mysteries were not the paranormal stuff. It was the real shit. My homie Hammer Time, John, I don't know if he's watching right now. He usually watches and just lurks, right? Doesn't really say much. But he's always said that when he was a kid, Jason movies scared him more than Freddy and scared him more than Dracula, even though those were the movies that scared me more. But Jason scared him more because he was like, that's a real dude out there in the forest, like a real psycho. That's real. That's real. You know, and that scares some people, so. Oh, you want to do Thursday, Bob? Hell yeah. And yeah, no problem, man. I know it's busy. It's Sunday. I know you're busy. You probably had a lot of outreach to do today. Really liked your last video, by the way. Yeah, Unsolved Mystery is the real shit that scares me, man. Halloween time at midnight, cemetery hours. It's really amazing. I've told a story once here on the live stream when my mom was she passed away a while ago, but she was a prankster, right? And she really put a lot of that into me. She was a trickster. And she, one time on Halloween, we would always do these house haunts at my house. Like we would try to put on a haunted house or something like that, or a haunted yard or something. It was silly. And after that, we would go to the local haunted house that was put on by the JCs. So we went there one year, and on the way there, we wanted to go egg houses. And she, I guess, decided to play a joke on us and teach us a lesson, but she drives us to Maple Hill Cemetery, which is the oldest, large cemetery here in Alabama. It's huge, and it's got a lot of statues in it. It's creepy, especially at night. And it's closed at night. You're not allowed to be there. So it's Halloween. We go by. We're in the back of this truck, and we're just egging these houses as we're rolling on by, which would be a major flex right now because eggs keep selling out. So would TP in someone's yard, which we used to do as well. Anyway, we used to do terrible things back in the day. I haven't done that stuff in 25 years, but 22 years. But so we were in the back of the truck, and she drives into the cemetery, and we're like, oh, how cool and creepy. We're in the cemetery at night after dark. We're not allowed to be here, and it's Halloween, and it's a cool, ancient, old-looking cemetery. And then the truck dies, and she goes, we're out of gas. I knew I needed to stop for gas, but we're out of gas. You guys are going to have to take the gas tank and walk to the nearest gas station and get gas. So we all hop out of the truck, and she starts it up again and takes the F off. So then a cop started rolling through a little bit later on. So we all had to split up and hide behind gravestones on Halloween night at the cemetery. We're hiding, ducking behind gravestones, because if you get caught there at night, you get in trouble. And it was the scariest shit. And God rest her soul. Thank the Lord for my mother, because she was so much fun. Cemetery tour, heck no. Robbie has the Doom collection set up behind him. Love it. Yeah, somebody had asked me, I think it was Green Man, but I may be mistaken that, just thinking of Green Man as Doom, but somebody had asked me to show off some Doom stuff. So I got my Doom shrine right there. And I got a Doom unboxing I'm doing at the end of the show, which seems to be a long-ass show tonight. One block away from me is the Honey Island Swamp. That's where Terrell Evans from Swamp People lives, about a block away. Hell yeah. Pet Cemetery scared me the most. Hell yeah, me too. That was a scary-ass movie when I was a kid. Winchester Mansion here in Cali. We got the Sally Carter thing, and we got the Devil's Gate thing here. We got a few, but none super famous. But there are a lot of famous Southern ghost stories. I love Southern ghost stories. They got a certain tinge to them that I absolutely love. I want to write a Southern ghost story one time. I wrote one time for a movie, and I want to make it in a comic book one day. It's called Soldier's Playground, and maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I'm really excited. The image on my pint glass is Dr. Doom, to go along with the Doom shrine behind me. I've got some hero clicks. I got some little tiny ones. Got a mystery mini right there. I got the Marvel Universe 3 3/4. I got the new Marvel Legends right there. I got the Fantastic Four one right there, and the 10-inch one right there. Secret Wars still in package. Marvel Superheroes Toy Biz still in package. And Famous Covers still in package. Original TMT movie on a scale of 1 to 10. 9. 9.5. 9.5. Almost a 10. Yeah, I love the original movie. Oh, the ring lady is super creepy, man. That Japanese horror is super creepy. It's all hair and weird body movements and stuff like that. That's scary as shit, man. Hell yeah. Can't thank you guys for doing these live streams, getting our minds off the craziness at Jim Mint, Everything Comics, and at me. And any I've missed. Thank you. Yeah. Bueller's been doing a lot of live streams on his channel, Travis T. So if you haven't followed Travis T, definitely follow that. He's been doing more live streams there. He's trying to get to 1,000 so he can start doing them from his phone. Hell yeah. All right, so the question of the week is this. What is your favorite animated series theme song? There are lots of good ones. I'm about to reveal my top 5, and this is a special treat to you that are here with us 2 hours plus into a Teen Dog Shades night. This is a special treat. I'm going to make a video, a top 5 video. That's right, Robbie's top 5 returns this week. I got a few episodes planned that I'm going to work on tomorrow. One of them is my top 5 favorite animated series theme songs, and you are going to get that information first here tonight. But I had to leave some out because I only got a top 5, right? You only got 5. Green Man's got a good one. The X-Men. Bear with me. I'm going to be doing some singing. I'm doing an air guitar at the same time, by the way. Yeah, the X-Men animated series is great. It even gets better when it goes. I love the hell out of that theme song. Jabberjaw. Hell yeah, Chris, with the throwback. Jabberjaw. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Samuel agrees with the X-Men from the 90s. Man, did not make my top 5. But I'm going to reveal that here tonight. But I want to hear some more of y'all's real quick. Spider-Man 66, Bob. That's a good one, buddy. And thank you once again. I haven't mentioned this to you personally yet. Thank you for joining us on Patreon.com. Let me throw it up real quick. There you go. No lying. We all know who DD Bullseye is. You can't hide that, my friend. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thundercats, X-Men, and Heathcliff. Fable, those are excellent choices. Batman, the animated series. Oh my goodness, it almost made. Maybe it was number 6. That's amazing. I almost feel like it's cheating because it kind of takes it, it's Danny Elfman, it's from the movie, but the animated series, oh, it's so tight. The Wasserman Effect. Frankie says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Man, it's like an immediate collective thought that everyone thought X-Men. Hell yeah. Because it's great. Brian says it's got to be DuckTales. That's a good one. Oh, yeah, Wasserman. Wasserman was, Ron Wasserman. He did he did the X-Men too. I didn't realize that he did the X-Men. He did Power Rangers. Hell yeah. Power Rangers is a great one. But it's not animated, so it didn't make my list. But no lie, that's one of my favorite theme songs of all time. That and Buffy. Oh, I can do a TV, like live action TV series theme one next time. Hercules, the animated series. Not familiar with that one. Oh, Darkwing Duck. I struggled with not adding that one. Thunder says Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe. Frankie agrees with Heathcliff. Do you remember Eek the Cat? That had a good one. Oh, Bob says Power Rangers theme song are still rocket. Bob, you like the Power Rangers, man? Are we even more of best friends right now? Yeah, Tiny Toons was super catchy. So was Animaniacs. Jesse, you're hitting my heartstrings right now. Adolescent different fighting amphibians. All right, y'all. The angel theme was dope too. Oh, Hermanio, you're not lying. You're not lying. Do 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 do. It's that beat behind it, man, that really makes it pop. Buffy's great too. Frankie says Silverhawks. Arr. What? X-Men for my bro. For me, my bro says Pokemon. Jesse says DuckTales. Chris says Muppet Baby. Muppet Babies. Doom shum bop and doom doom bop. Yeah, that's a good one. Pup named Scooby-Doo. Fable. A pup named Scooby-Doo is my jam. used to watch that shit all the time. Oh, Tyler, though, with the OG Scooby-Doo, you're right. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Samurai Pizza Cats. Right on, Bob. Man, we got some good ones. DuckTales, woohoo. Hey, David's here. Scooby-Doo, Super Friends, Funky Phantom, Linus, the Lion-Hearted, and Casper, the Friendly Ghost. Anybody? Here's one that didn't make my top 5, but anybody remember Denver, the Last Dinosaur, or Bionic 6? Oh, come on. I wanted to add those so bad, but I didn't. Reading Rainbow. Oh, my God. That's a great live-action theme song. That might make my top 5. South Park's a good one. All right, here's my top 5. There will be a video later on, but you got this information first. At number 5, my favorite animated theme songs of all time. Oh, Brian, by the way, you're right. Cowboy Bebop? Hell yeah. At number 5, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers is an amazing theme song that comes in at number 5 for me. At number 4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, absolutely. It lets you know exactly what you need to know about the show. It's amazing. DuckTales at number 3. A woohoo. It's a duck blur. Hell yes, DuckTales. At number 2, Jim's Adventure. Ooh, Jim is outrageous. Truly, truly outrageous. You know I love Jim. It totally number 2. And number 1 has to be Silverhawks. Silverhawks. I love the Silverhawks theme song. It's absolutely one of my favorites. Jim is one of my favorites. Those are my top 5 right there. I'm going to make an actual video about it, but y'all have that information here first. Hell yeah. So first you got Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale's, when there's danger, you know it never fails once they're involved in. I kind of forget the rest, but there you go, right? Number 5, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Come on. Splinter taught them to be ninja teens. He's a radical rat. Leonardo leads. Donatello does machines. That's a fact, Jack. Raphael is cool but rude. Michelangelo is a party dude. Michelangelo's my favorite, by the way. Come on. Number 3, come on, DuckTales. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales, woohoo. Come on, man. And number 2, Jim is adventure. Ooh, Jim is Jim is excitement. Ooh, glamour and glitter, fashion and fame. Jim is truly outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Oh, 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 the music's contagious. No one else is the same. Jim is my name. I fucked that up there towards the end, but you know what I'm saying. And number 1 was Silverhawks. Come on. Wings of silver, nerves of steel. Silverhawks, partly metal, partly real. Silverhawks. Come on, y'all. That's my top 5. I love the hell out of those ones. Dude, the G.I. Joe animated movie, Cobra. Oh, come on, man. You're right. Come on. Yeah, Spider-Man, the animated series, Batman, TMNT, Gargoyles, Gummy Bears. Gummy. How's it go? Hold on. I always sing this about our dog's name is Hera. But let's go, Hera Bear. Oh my God, I always sing the song. I can't remember it right now for some reason. I know it's Bouncing. Hera Bear, bouncing here. I got other songs stuck in my head right now. Now, speaking of the Spider-Man theme song, the one from the 90s, Joe Perry did that. But the one from the Sensational Spider-Man almost made my top 5. The Spectacular, my bad. Spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular. That one's really good. And the Rooney theme song for the Invincible Iron Man is pretty dope, too. Transformers was lit as well. He-Man's got good music too. But those theme songs that you can sing along with, Darkwing Duck was almost there. Tailspin, y'all. Just spin it. Come on. I remembered it. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, gummy bears. All that Disney afternoon shit was so amazing. Fantastic stuff. Y'all, we're about to get deep into Teen Dog Shades Night. So full warning, we're about to get deep into it. Give me a couple minutes. We'll be right back. We're continuing. Coming up, Teen Dog Shades Night about Grant Morrison, Chaos Magic, The Invisibles, and how it changed my life. More plugs, final questions, and show and tell. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back here to Rockin Robbie Live. That was our second break because we've had a tremendous, awesome Teen Dog Shades night tonight, and now in the third part, the third half. In fact, it's a Teen Dog Shades night, we can have a third half. Mike, it is totally mind control. Anybody in the know knows that the image that you just saw multiple times throughout tonight's stream was Barbalith. Barbalith is an alien entity that speaks to certain peoples in the world of a book called The Invisibles. And it goes from red to green, just like a stoplight, because we as a species are conditioned to think that way, right? So, yeah, it was a little bit of mind control. I was trying to open your minds through the magic of Barbalith and the Invisibles for this subject we're about to get into. Because it's probably the most personal I've ever gotten here on the channel, y'all. So I appreciate you all liking that. Expect more stuff like that here on Teen Dog Shades Nights. There was no subliminal messaging there, though, just so you know. Just an invocation. Damn, David, you cut me to the heart. David says, honestly, this green glow is the most entertaining thing I've seen on TV in months. Hell yeah. It's Teen Dog Shades night. That means that the only thing we're going to get, the only questions I want to hear, you can ask me anything you want, but you're going to really get me excited if you start asking me about Teen Dog Shades type stuff. In particular, tonight, right now, things involving Grant Morrison, The Invisibles, and Chaos Magic. John says I'm pretty high, so no need to open my mind, brother. Well, you know, that works even better. It means your mind's more open to the frequency I was transmitting. What? I'm just fucking with y'all, man. Y'all know that, right? You were right to keep hitting on green. All right, y'all. Real quick, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can join the PCP Army. It's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, you can also follow Pop Culture Philosophers there. And on Instagram, you can join us over at patreon.com/PCP like these fellas right here. Super cool cats, all of them. And check out popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. David says, I have a full run of The Invisibles, but I've never read it. John says, I've never heard of The Invisibles. Nunya says, sell them all. They are all hot. Yeah, there's allegedly Universal is working with Grant on a Invisibles movie or TV series. All right, let's get into what we get into. So Grant Morrison is a self-acknowledged chaos magician. So is Alan Moore. And there are elements of other comic book creators, and I do believe that comic books kind of go along the line with chaos magic just a little bit. So it doesn't really surprise me, but I see elements of chaos magic in the works of people like Pete Milligan, Neil Gaiman, and Warren Ellis. So first of all, to really get into this, what is chaos magic? So first of all, magic with a K. Magic, as defined by Aleister Crowley, I'm paraphrasing, is the art of making what you will happen, basically, right? Your true will. So, how to start this. So this is what chaos magic is. So out of the history of mankind, there have been esoteric and occult teachings. Things that lead one to, first of all, you have the Eastern practices, meditation, yoga, stuff like that, right? People that are trying to reach a one-pointedness, a sense of elevation, of higher consciousness. Listen to the stuff that like Russell Brand talks about. A lot of the New Agey types, right? So, but the New Age is kind of tied up in a lot of just armchair occultism and just willy-nilly type stuff, right? Timey-wimey BS. So there's been this whole practice of spirituality that has existed throughout the entirety of humanity. Pretty much the first spirituality that mankind had was almost like a sense of shamanism, if that makes sense. Now, the idea of the shaman is that in every community, there's one person who maybe takes psychedelic drugs and can see visions of things and all this and can bring that to the people. But even before that, there had a bit of connectedness. I honestly, personally think that the first connectedness from humanity to spirituality is the universe. Literally looking at the sky, seeing everything. Imagine a world. And you can do it at certain points in the globe right now. But imagine a world where there are no electric lights. Imagine seeing the Milky Way up there. Imagine seeing the stars and the constellations bright and vibrant. Imagine the sense of connectedness that you have from that. Like Green Man says, imagine what you feel when you eat some mushrooms you found and then look up at the sky at night. I think that's how shamanism was born. That leads into a whole bunch of philosophies and theologies and ideas. So then you start having these mythological pantheons being created, right? And you start having these human concepts of life start being diluted into what is called thought forms. So when I mention a god, little g god, or when I thank the gods, I'm thanking the little g gods. What I mean is, I'm thanking the thought forms, which is basically the coalesced experience and archetypes of the human experience in the universe, which, as the old school adage goes, as above, so below. What that means is that what happens in the microcosm within you happens on the microcosm because you are a reflection of the universe. So the basic idea of magic with a K is that you can align your microcosm, yourself, if you want to call it a soul, if you want to call it a spirit, if you just want to call it a metaphysical connection to the outer universe, if you just want to call it psychological stuff, because it works on all those levels. And that's what's amazing to me about magic with a K. And, by the way, I am no expert. But there are certain practices, things you can do to try to get yourself aligned, right? If that makes sense. So, for instance, one of the sad things about as above, so below is the rise of astrology. Astrology is an interesting tool, and it's a very interesting thing to study. But astrology is not, like when you go read your horoscope, that's not what really astrology is. It's not trying to be like we're at the mercy of the planets and the planets predict what's happening. That's all vague nonsense. Astrology is actually more so a study of the forces at play in the universe. A green man, I've totally heard of astral traveling, absolutely. Me, myself, cannot say that I've done it, aside from, I guess, if you consider that dream world activity, lucid dreaming, it's kind of on the same level of consciousness. So I think it's similar, but I haven't actually purposefully astral projected. So anyway, So you get this whole, everything spiritual. It leads into monotheism, and even monotheistic religions like Christianity, Islam, Judaism, they have a hierarchy, like a hierarchy of what could be construed as paganism in a way. You have in Christianity and in all three of those monotheistic religions, you have angels, you have demons, you have powers and principalities. You even have down into the Catholic Church saints, which perform such as almost demigod type figures. So I really honestly think that all of human expression into spirituality is connected to one root source. That root source may be people tripping on peyote or mushrooms or whatever in the desert or in the forest looking at the stars at night. That may be the case. And as someone like Joe Rogan would say, he's done many experiments on DMT, and Graham Hancock, who's done ayahuasca, which is the pure natural form of it in a way, because you got to use another thing to level it out. And I've never done that. So anybody let Joe Rogan know right now. When all this COVID-19 stuff is over, I'll buy a ticket. I'll fly to LA if he can get me back. I'll fly to LA and do DMT with him. I'd love to do that. If you say it enough, maybe it will happen. You know, my favorite band of all time is Oasis, and they always said that, you know, they became one of the greatest bands ever because they kept telling people they were the greatest band ever, and a percentage of them believe you. So maybe a few of y'all will holler at Joe Rogan, let him know that I want to do DMT with him and do a podcast, and then maybe one day that will happen. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be an amazing feat? Anyway, no, I'm very interested in what's beyond. I totally feel there's something more than just this physical plane, the mundane. I think there's something totally more. I think near-death experiences. I think alien abductions. I never connected Bigfoot to it until tonight when y'all were talking to me about the missing persons and the lost time that people experience and how that can be connected to Bigfoot. There are so many experiences of the BVM, the Blessed Virgin Mary. They all have the same kind of idea. And then there are 3 writers that are influential to me, all science fiction writers for the most part, that had an experience in which they attained something, some kind of contact with something. We've talked about that many times here on Teen Dog Shades Night. But what they experienced, for instance, Robert Anton Wilson was apparently on LSD and did the ritual of the Holy Guardian Angel, which was given to him by Crowley in one of his books. Crowley was part of the Golden Dawn. So I've studied some of the Golden Dawn stuff. It's a little rigid. And he had contact with an extraterrestrial experience, right? Does it mean aliens? No, but it means something else. Now, it could also mean your higher self. That's what the Holy Guardian Angel is supposed to represent, is your higher self. Like that inside of you, there is your true nature. And then there's your identity, your mask that you put up, the facade that kind of gets in the way, the ego and the id. But there's something beyond that that's truly you. And I believe people can connect to this through their spirituality and connect to the one source of all. If you want to get sci-fi with it, let's call it the Force. If you want to get super religious about it, let's call it God. So that's kind of what I would say. But there are so many different ways to do this in the world throughout history. What chaos magic tried to do was it tried to take all of this and distill it and take away all of the window dressing. I almost said nonsense because it's not nonsense, because the drama of it makes it happen. So one of the tenets of chaos magic is belief. You can shift your belief. If you wholeheartedly believe something in a certain paradigm, if it aligns with the truth within you and the universe, it's real. Does that make sense? Probably not really. Probably not really. However, Grant Morrison is a chaos magician, and he was influenced by the works of Peter Carroll and Phil Hine. And if you are more interested in the topic of chaos magic, I would encourage you to read the works of Philip Carroll, Peter Carroll, my bad, Phil Hine, Peter Carroll. Read Liber Nocturne. No, that's not it, is it? There's Liber Chaos. Psychonaut's a part of what is? It's not Liber Nux, I believe, something like that. I should have written that down. And then there's Condensed Chaos by Phil Hine. But the other thing is to read. Ant-Man was lit. There's another thing to read, and that's The Invisibles. So let's talk about Grant Morrison real quick. How I was really introduced to this idea. Liber Null, you're right, Brian. Thank you so much. Totally brain farted on that one. There's Liber Null and Psychonaut. You can find that in one book. And then you can find a second book, which is Liber Chaos. There is a heavy metal issue with an article written by Grant Morrison. It's their magic special. That's really, really cool. He did an article in a Disinfo book. I think it's the... I was very close, right? I knew it related to night somehow. Phil Hine did Condensed Chaos and then Prime Chaos. Both of those are really good. But Invisibles is really, really important too. A lot of it goes back to like Kabbalistic stuff, and the very roots of the monotheistic religions kind of go back to mystical Judaism, and it even can go back, maybe there's some stuff you can find in Sumer and things like that, but the Kabbalah is kind of interesting to me, and it's something I've made a study of the last 5 years of my life. And Alan Moore's work with the Promethea really is a study in that. And the Invisibles and Grant Morrison and other works like The Nameless kind of like relate to that, and it's interesting. However, Grant Morrison wrote The Invisibles. The Invisibles was meant to be a hyper sigil. A sigil is a component part of chaos magic. It's basically distilling your will into a phrase, distilling that phrase into a sigil, and then a symbol, and then taking that symbol and making it something. He wanted to bring that into a comic book, and he actually wrote himself into the comic book. King Mob is Grant Morrison. Does it look familiar? It looks like Grant Morrison because it is. So Grant Morrison wrote himself, and he wasn't a stranger to writing himself into his fiction. He did so in Animal Man, as you can see right there. A great work as well. But the difference in The Invisibles was if his character King Mob did something like evoke John Lennon, he did that in real life. And Invisibles gets weird, it gets esoteric, and a lot of people that read it sometimes go, there's no way that this makes any sense, and I can't wrap my head around it. That's how I felt the first time. But just like the characters in the book, the more you experience this reality of The Invisibles, the more you read it, the more you learn about its esoteric context and nature and how it ties into conspiracy theories like aliens and stuff like that. And there's Barbalith right there, by the way. The more you learn that Grant Morrison's saying, you program reality, now do it. And that's what I learned. And every time I reread The Invisibles, I learn it yet again. This is the most important moment in a comic book for me. It was a very important moment to Grant Morrison. I'm not going to get super into it right now, but it ties into everything Morrison, chaos to chaos, and that's Morrison right there in the book of The Invisibles, tributing to chaos. And that's what chaos magic kind of wraps herself around. There is a scene from Stranger Things where they reference The Invisibles, a great book, had a massive influence on my life, my way of thinking about the world, my way of thinking about reality. It got me into the work of Robert Anton Wilson with my good buddy Brian, who's one of our patrons, who's also a member of the Excitable PCP crew, who was with me on the Watchmen video that we just recently did. I absolutely love him. He's a super cool guy, and he got me into Robert Anton Wilson. I've already been into Philip K. Dick. He had a very similar experience to Robert Anton Wilson, and so did Grant Morrison. Those are the three writers who had experiences that led me to the works of Aleister Crowley. I grew up a Baptist, studying the church. I almost became a preacher. I was already starting my seminary. I was in the first year of it. I was going to basically give my life over to the Lord and do all that stuff. And then some major things happened in my life and at my church, and it kind of threw a lot of stuff into question about what I really wanted to do. And I feel like what I do right now is have a platform to talk about how stories that we tell ourselves are very important to who we are as people, whether they're biblical stories, whether they're stories from the Quran, whether it's the Old Testament or the New Testament, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's Hinduism, whether it's Druidism, whether it's Norse mythology, whether it's Egyptian, whether it's African, all the different tribes of Africa. Everybody's mythology leads us, at least has led me in my life and my experience and my research, which started as a Western Christian Protestant, has led me to the point of believing that everybody has an idea that's leading to one place. And there are techniques that can lead you to one place that are implemented by all of these religions and spiritual practices and meditations and body poses and invocation and evocation and all kinds of craziness like that. And it all works. But basically, there's one source and there are many ways to get there. And I think that especially in times like that are going on right now, it was important to me to tell you that I believe in a source that's super, one, that we all have a connection to, and that we can actually affect reality in a way as far as your reality. Anyway, that's just what I wanted to say, and I wanted to stress the importance of the Invisibles. So if you ever hear me recommend the Invisibles and you read it and you're like, man, this is really weird and I don't quite understand what's going on, trust me. This is a book that's challenging. Ultimately, it's a very simple story about freedom fighters against a world that's being controlled by a dominant, extra-dimensional evil force. This is the story that the Matrix was based on. The Matrix is almost a digitized version of this. Trust me, it's really good. It's fantastic. And if you can give over, especially now at times where maybe you got some extra time, read The Invisibles. Read it again. Read some of the work from Phil Hine and Peter Carroll. Read Grant Morrison's own writings on this topic. Read or watch Grant Morrison's Disinfocon lecture. Read some lectures from listen to some lectures from Robert Anton Wilson, Joseph Campbell, the idea of the hero's journey, and all that stuff. Carl Jung. It all kind of goes down to the same bit. Aleister Crowley. Read the Bible with a new light, with a new idea. I don't know. It's a very interesting thing to do. It's a great experiment, and I guess that's going to be the end of my Grant Morrison Chaos Magic Invisibles rant. But I'm just going to say to copy what Grant Morrison says in his Disinfocon lecture, which is absolutely amazing, and in the PCP Army, as soon as we're done with the stream, I'm going to post up that video so that everybody can go on Facebook, join the PCP Army, and if you're already there, have access to that video. If not, just look up Grant Morrison Disinfocon and just watch it. And it's a way better way to explain what I'm talking about. And he also explains exactly what a sigil is, how to do it. And that's the entry point, is a sigil. And learning how to do a sigil, to quote Grant Morrison, it works. And that's all I want to say. But anyway, we probably lost half of our viewers. No, we didn't. Wow, y'all. Y'all stayed around through all of that. Thank you so much. I was so nervous to talk about that stuff because it's kind of personal and it's not the full story, obviously, and it's just kind of me rambling about it, but it's definitely something I'm into and something I've been exploring. Suppose you're thinking about a plate of shrimp. Suddenly someone says plate or plate of shrimp out of the blue. No point in looking for one. It's all part of the cosmic unconsciousness. You're right, David. I know you respect the works of Alan Moore like crazy. And he pulls from this idea. He had the idea of idea space. It's the collective unconscious. There's one thing kind of that all of collective humanity is kind of tied into that contains all of our thoughts and experiences, and they can coalesce around forms like thought forms. And they become the little g gods in a way. So that Hermes, Thoth, Mercury, Loki, there's more of them. They all kind of represent the idea of intellectualism, but there's a flip side of it as well, tricksterism. And so you can find out more about that through the Kabbalah and learn about the Tree of Life and so much more. And it's really, really interesting stuff. That was a quote from Repo Man, the Emilio Estevez one, right? Wow. Well, that really sums it up. A lot of people accuse Hollywood of being into the occult. Maybe they are. Oh, thank you, HVAC. Huh. And if you ever dive into this stuff and you want sources to get to and like where to find out things, like just holler at me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can holler at me. And with that, we're nearing 3 hours, y'all. This is the first time this is the longest Rockin Robbie Live we've ever done. Of course, it's going to be a Teen Dog Shade tonight. Let's get into show and tell. Stick with me, y'all. We got lots to talk about. If you got any questions, get them in. Let's talk about show and tell. Y'all know I like Happy Meal toys. Let me show you some of my favorite Happy Meal toys ever. There's a female Porky the Pig as Wonder Woman. I don't know where these came from. McDonald's or Burger King. There's a Bugs Bunny as Superman. And my favorite, Daffy Duck as Batman. A version of Batman. A version of Superman. A version of Wonder Woman. And this makes total sense. Taz as the Flash. Petunia Pig, you're right, Samuel. Thank you so much. The cool thing about these, and why I love these so much and have always loved them, is you can take the costumes off. Look at that. So now we just have Taz. How cool is that? So let's do it. Petunia Pig. You're right. That's Petunia Pig. We take off her costume. There's Petunia Pig. Daffy as Batman, basically. And Bugs. I love these clip-on costumes. Anything DC and Looney Tunes, I love. Yeah, I love the removable costumes as well, Mikey. Do you have the Transformers McDonald's toys? No, I've got a line on some of the. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you're talking about the Hasbro Transformers line. I have like a couple from like around when the first movie came out, but they're really nothing. I don't know of any old school ones they did. I don't have any of the Lego ones they did back in the day either, but I really, really want to get some of those. But they did have the ones where it was like the fries and the burger and the shake that would like transform. And I got a line on getting some of those, but I want that whole set. Like the early ones from the 80s. Those ones are amazing. Yeah, I don't have any of those old Treehouse of Horror toys they did, man. I bet those are fun. So I got some Marvel ones here. These are from McDonald's. Pretty sure. But these are not open. Yeah, they're from McDonald's because they have Ronald still on the packaging. Right there. So these are some Marvel ones. There you go. Not opened. So we're going to open it. This one's Jubilee. And it's like Generation X Jubilee too. But let's do it, right? So there's Jubilee on her little bike with something going on there. That's really it. It's just like a little hologram thing. It doesn't even spin or nothing. Very weak. Very weak Jubilee toy. But at least Jubilee was a Happy Meal toy for a while. Y'all, I love Happy Meal toys. Next one we'll do is a Spider-Man one. Spider-Man in a car. There's been a couple of these. I got another one where he's in a white car. So there was a Spider-Man animated series line, but then this is from the Marvel line. So this is what he does. He's got a web that you can pop out right there. But yeah, that's it right there. Not too bad. It's neat. There was a one from the series that I've already opened up before. I almost set it aside for tonight, but I didn't. I should have. But it's pretty neat. But the last one, as far as those, is going to be this Wolverine and the Blackbird. You know I love my... Mikey, not only have I ever seen those Batman Returns McDonald toys, I have all of them. My favorite. In fact, I have the Batman and the Bat sub or whatever the hell up there right now. I've got the Catwoman one. There wasn't a Catwoman one, was there? No, there was. Yeah, I've got that. Was that a Catwoman one? Anyway, I've got the Penguin one, obviously with the umbrella that's spinning, and I've got the Batmobile that has the Bat missile in it, and I love that. So there's the Wolverine and the Blackbird. That's cool. These don't do anything. Oh, those pop out. That's what happens there. See that? That's kind of cool. So the Jubilee one really do nothing except for just have like that? God, it doesn't do nothing? Weak. Why they gotta do Jubilee like that? Yeah, there was a Catwoman. Was she in a purple car, or was that part of the animated series line? Yeah, I'll show those off one day again, because I really like those. So we got some things to open up. So y'all know I've been getting into Spawn lately, right? So I just picked up Spawn, the Violator series, 1, 2, and 3. Read it last night, loved it. She was in purple. Yeah, I got that one. Yeah, I love the nuggets with the costumes. Herminio, you know that I got those. I've shown those Halloween ones off so many times. I love them so much. Forge probably did build the Blackbird. It seems to recollect in my head. Hey, what's up, Bob? How are you doing? This is the first Rockin Robbie Live we've ever done after over 3 hours. So, I'm such a Spawn guy. Not only did I get that Violator series, I got a Violator action figure. We're going to open it up tonight. It's already kind of busted open in the back right there. So we're just going to rip it open. This is from Series 1 of Flash. What the hell? Series 1 of the Spawn action figure line. Which I've never really been a big Spawn fan. But I decided I was going to become one. I've read 25 issues of the book and this Violator series, and I'm loving the hell out of it. So now I want the toys. There's the Violator figure. I remember this figure. My buddy George had this. It's got bendy arms and legs, which is kind of silly, and it's probably going to be really a bitch to pose, but it's really cool because you can put it in all kinds of different ways. It's a really great, accurate interpretation from the comic book. Big jaw that moves. This is my first Spawn toy. Is this Violator, y'all? So you're here to witness something extraordinary. Fantastic. You know I love my toys, and I appreciate everybody's super chats tonight. We are very close to that Joker van from Toy Biz, and that's all because of y'all, so thank you so much. So that's the Violator. I got the Dr. Doom shrine behind me. Oh, Frankie, I just read that book last night, but I cannot name off the top of my head all the Violator brothers. I cannot. Because there were some weird words. I just read this last night, though. Because Alan Moore did it. I was so surprised that Alan Moore did it. But it was really good. No, the Violator ones I have are direct market, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're all direct market. Though my Spawn number 1, Vindicator is one of them. There's 4 brothers, or 4 siblings, so the Vandalizer's one of them, isn't it? Yeah, Alan Moore also wrote Wildcats. So I got the Doom Shrine behind me. So tonight we're going to open up my Doom pop. I just got this. Been getting the Fantastic Four pops. So I got this Doctor Doom. I missed out on the first Doctor Doom pop they ever did. So now we're going to get this one. And tonight we're going to open it up. So we can add it to the Doom Shrine. Vandalizer, Violator, Vindicator. Oh, there's a couple ones that I didn't understand the words. I had to look them up. There's the Doom pop. All Marvel pops are bobbleheads. Looks nice. I like it. We'll add it. I think it's a respectable Doom collection. Yeah, the Philobiac brothers or whatever. Yeah, really good stuff. All right, and y'all know how much I've been loving the Power Rangers, but I didn't bring anything to open this up, so let's see if this can open it up. Yeah. So I've been really impressed with these Power Rangers Lightning collections, and I've been opening up all the Beast Morpher ones because those are from Go Busters, which are one of my favorite Sentai series. This is the one Jelani was talking about on Thursday night that had a good storm, like Johnny Stormhead. So we're going to open this up because I've been really impressed with these ones. Yeah, the Doom Pop's nice. So far, I've only opened up that one and the Thing. I got a few more to open up as the weeks progress. Yeah, I want to get that Target exclusive in the white suit with the FF costume, man. Yeah, I want to get that one. So this is Blaze. I know him better as Enter, but he's basically the evil ranger from that line. Oh, wow. He's got a sword with an effect or whatever, but we're just going to look at the figure real quick. Vaporizer, Facilitator. Hell yeah, that makes sense. I got the shades on, but once again, these figures are amazing. The detail is fire. They're so good. Posability's good. That detail, though. Look at that detail on the helmet. Really good stuff. Very excited to add that to the collection. I got more Power Rangers Lightning collections to open. So I've been opening them a little bit at a time. I'm fuzzy right now. There I am. That was show and tell, y'all. Vindicator, Violator, Vandalizer, Facilitator, Vaporizer. There we go. Way to come through, John. Any final comments? Get them in right now. We're about to do the final 9. Final 9 comics from my personal collection that I'm going to be showing off tonight. Continuing on with the 2/double theme. Even though it's an odd number, we're still going to get the theme across. So any final thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, get them in right now. Damn, David. David says, you forgot the ventilator. He's in big demand all over the country now. You're right. We did forget him. Hopefully he's a heavenly brother, not a hellish brother. David, I know you're not a McFarlane fan, but I haven't typically been either. But I'm telling you, I'm really loving the hell out of my Spawn revisit. You been reading anything, David, or you just been organizing? Man, this Blaze figure's dope. He's Enter to me, but he's Blaze to the American kids out there. It's so smart, it knows that I'm here. The Velociraptor. Come on. These are dope-ass figures. Me, Jelani, and Brooks were tripping out on them. We're going to be doing a stream probably Wednesday or Thursday night. I don't know. Wait, what did Bob say? I don't even remember what he said. Did he say Thursday? Oh, that's so far up there. Anybody remember what Bob said? Did he tell me Thursday or Friday? I think he said Thursday. Anyway, I think I'm going to try to get the crew together on Wednesday. Wednesday night. Me, Jelani, Brooks, possibly Jonathan Strickland, J Strick. Going back in the comments real quick. Getting close. Getting close. Thursday. So Thursday night I'm going live with, y'all reminded me. Oh, and Bob's still here. Hell yeah. I looked all the way back in the comments to find that, bro. Anyway, so, Thursday night we'll be doing the stream with Bob. So we'll probably do Wednesday night with me and Jelani and Brooks. Creamsicle doesn't like being on camera, David, oddly enough. And you're mostly organizing. I got you. Will Afterlift get a physical copy? Not that I know of. I don't think any Comixology original is planned for a physical copy right now. But it's really good and worth reading. Hell yeah. All right, not that I would ever rip off Bob and Bueller. So I don't do a final 5. I do a final 9. And we're keeping with our 2 double theme tonight. So first up, Action Comics, Volume 2, Number 9. We talked a lot about Grant Morrison. This is the first appearance of one of my favorite characters that he created, the Superman of Earth 23. He's the president, and he's Superman, and he's badass. And I love this issue so much. Hey, and it's another Action Comics. Action Comics 1000, that's the Mike Allred cover. I believe that's the 60s cover. It might be the 50s, but I think it's the 60s. I'm a big Mike Allred fan, so I love this cover. I had to get that. Here's one I'm probably going to open up because this is a Power Rangers Pink number 1. It was a mini-series focused on Kimberly's adventure after she left the Power Rangers. This is a super cool cover that I love because it's a gatefold cover. It opens up, so I'll show you that. Very nice cover. Love that cover. Love the series, actually. It's kind of thrown into... I don't know if it quite fits in continuity anymore after Necessary Evil. To continue with the 2s, I got another cover of Power Rangers Pink number 1. It's the coloring book edition. Maybe I should send this one to Bob and let him color it for me, because he is a fantastic colorist. I've been watching his work on his Instagram page, which is Coloring Heroes. He's been coloring a Dr. Doom Spider-Man cover that's amazing. So I would love to have this colored by an artist. That would be super cool. It's a very cool, intricate design. All that background stuff. If someone had the right color palette, that could really pop. The next one on my final 9 is my Wasted Space number 1, Crisis Tribute variant. This is a tribute to the famous Crisis cover where Superman's holding the dead body of Supergirl. But that's Wasted Space number 1. And then I also have another Wasted Space number 1 homage cover to Action Comics number 1. So there you go. See, I'm keeping the theme of the 2s right now. So here's my Web of Spider-Man number 29. This is one of my favorite comic books from when I was a kid. Somebody asked me about direct market versus the newsstand. That's very appropriate. First of all, this is a direct follow-up to the Wolverine Spider-Man one-shot that came out in the 80s. And I love this one so much. It came out like 87, I believe. This is one of my first favorite comics. The second comic I'm going to show up is the newsstand edition I have of it. Both of them from when I was young. Because I bought it again because I had lost it, then we had found it again. So that's the difference. Notice that has a UPC code down there. So one of the things you can find out about these Marvel books back in the day, that one had a UPC code. This one has a Spider-Man face. That's the difference between direct market and newsstand editions. So that was 8. So my final one is my Submerged number 1, which is a tribute to New Mutants number 19. So to me, it kind of fits in with that 2 double idea because it's a Submerged number 1, but it's a tribute to another cover by Bill Sienkiewicz, New Mutants number 19. That's my final 9. So, Bob, I don't know if you've ever been around for my final 9 or my first 6, but I would never rip you and Bueller off. You do the first 5 and the final 5. I do a first 6 and a final 9. Oh, no problem, Bob. Your coloring is amazing. That Doom one looks amazing. You're adding texture to it, and you're just using like colored pencils, right? That's amazing to me. All right. Well, we got show and tell. We got all the Teen Dog Shades talk out. We got the final questions out. It's time for plugs. Right now on the page, you can find the movie review we did for Street Fighter. We got a new PCP Army movie review. You get to vote between Leprechaun, Van Helsing, Pumpkinhead, Slither, Critters, and Scanners. Critters is winning by a landslide right now. You can join over at the PCP Army. The DC Watchmen, Comics Revisited. It's the final episode of Comics Revisited Season 2. It's available right now. We got more excitement coming out this week. I want to give one more shout out to our patrons. David, Alex, Brian, Nelson, Reggie, Josh, Brian, David, Dee Bullseye, Dean Dunlaney, HC, Jason Have, Kenneth Monmeat, Michael, Peter, Robert, Seth, Timo, TJ, and William. Thank you so much for supporting the dream. You can join us at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and more. You can follow me on Twitter at @Rockin Robbie. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram as Pop Culture Philosophers. And if you are on Facebook, join the PCP Army. It's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. We have a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining us on the live stream. Hey, Jelani just showed up at the very end of the show. What's up, Jelani? Hey, Jelani, we're doing it Wednesday night, 8 p.m. What do you think for the live stream? No subject. We're just going to chat, ramble, talk about toys, do some show and tell. What do you think, Jelani? Everybody give a shout out to Jelani. He's here. We are about to end, though. We've been over 3 hours on this stream. Holy crap. That's crazy. Hey, the Ben Affleck fan club just arrived. Jelani is very active in the PCP Army. But yeah, we're thinking about Wednesday, Jelani. Wow. Jelani, I love you. Hope you're doing well. I know you've been dealing with some things at your house. Now I feel like I got to stay on for just a few more minutes so people can say what's up to Jelani. All right, Jelani's down for it. We're doing it Wednesday night. Me, Jelani, Brooks, probably Jonathan. I'm going to try to get Jonathan Strickland on this one. J Strick. Good, Jelani. Good. I miss you, homie. I miss hanging out and watching movies, man. It looks like Critter's going to win, Jelani. Kind of excited about that. This is like a landslide. Still got a long time to go. We got a whole week of voting, but I think we're going to be pretty good on Critters winning. Yeah, Strickland. Strickland was wanting to do a stream, and I was like, how about jumping on with me and Jelani and Brooks this week? He was like, hell yeah. So he's got some show and tell he can do too. Hell yeah. All right, y'all, we're about to peace out here. Thank you so much for watching the stream. You can join us over in support at patreon.com/PCP and unlock exclusive content like the PCP After Hours podcast and exclusive early audio access to the weekly comic book review whenever those resume. Right now, we're not resuming, so any support we do appreciate. We are very close. Let me do the tally afterwards. I think we're like 2/3 of the way to that Joker van from Toy Biz, and I'm very, very excited. We'll definitely hit that this week. I have faith in the PCP Army. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. We are dipping out here. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Join all this shit, social media, all that stuff. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Stay home. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to. If you need comic books, Critters is PG-13, Frankie. If you need comic books, holler at someone that's doing mail order or curbside. So thank you guys so much. We're dipping out. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. Keep on reading.